a mandate
Yes.
that. So, and it's good, really. I mean, it's good for the consumer. I mean, I don't really want to see, more than 2 games that aren't against an opponent we know plenty about. And in the portal world, it just adds to the challenge of being a head coach in today's world if you had to play 10 games like that. But, hey, these guys are paid well. Not going to feel sorry for someone making $5+ million to try and figure that equation out. Hey, finding the right financing to remodel your current home or build the brand new one you've always dreamed of is easier than ever when you stop by one of Farm Credit of Western Arkansas's 25 locations. Let their experts guide you from start to finish, or you can log on to myaglender.com to see all the financing options that they offer. Farm Credit of Western Arkansas. Hey, they make family dreams come true, and they've been doing it for more than 100 years. Go to myaglender.com. That's myaglender.com.
All right, well, when we return, we're going to get into your SEC update a little bit. A former SEC quarterback has been named the starter in the National Football League. There's been some expectations surrounding the SEC baseball tournament in Hoover, Alabama. We talked with Pat Smith in the first hour about that and some other SEC storylines that we'll jump back into here this morning. Stay with us. Again, it's the Morning Rush here on ESPN 104.3. If you have not done so, please download the Hit That Line Now app so you can listen to the Morning Rush, Halftime, Ruskin and Zach, and the soon-to-be new Chuck and Bo show, which gets going this Monday, August the 26th from 6 to 9 a.m.
Guys that are leaders in the locker room. They work extremely hard, and I sure think they're going to make the state of Arkansas proud. On Sunday morning, you get up and go to church. If you don't, well, you still can be happy about the Hogs, but I think you're going to feel really good about this football team because we certainly do.
Hey, this is Darren McFadden. You're listening to The Morning Rush.
Live on your favorite radio station, hitthatline.com and the Hit That Line Now app.
Don't say it's a fine morning or I'll shoot you.
This is The Morning Rush with Ty Richardson.
I'm a peacock. You gotta let me fly.
And Tommy Kraft.
They're going to go nuts when he hits this thing.
Produced by Christian Johnston.
How about this, cowboy?
Call or text the program at 877-377-6963.
Let's stand up and call those Hogs.
George Sam Pittman there, who was at the Little Rock Touchdown Club yesterday talking about his football team in 2024. Again, he made some jokes. He cut up a little bit. He's good in that setting. I'll give him credit. That is an element that I do not have, that he is just very, very talented when it comes to entertaining a room. Most coaches are, and he has that gift and ability. He knows how pivotal this season is, and he's trying to get people back on the bandwagon of his team in 2024. Maybe some of you that have jumped off. There's not a lot that can be said in the next 9 days. Even it's more like, 17 or so till you really want to find out what this football team is when they take on the Oklahoma State Cowboys in Stillwater, Oklahoma. Tommy, we keep doing this countdown leading up to the UAPB game, but I think it's pretty obvious more people are counting down to September the 7th than they are August the 29th.
I mean, let's not act like people aren't going to watch and listen to this first game. I mean, people are, they're going to settle in on a Thursday night, and then we're going to reconvene here on a Friday and discuss it next week. But so I don't want to say it doesn't matter. Now, is there a lot more to lose than there is to gain? 100%. I mean, no question about that, that everything that could happen is probably bad if it's noteworthy. If you go out and you cover a Bet Saracen line of 50 something and a half. I think a few will be excited. Most will shrug their shoulders and say, let's see what happens a week from Saturday. So, and that's the camp I'm going to fall in. I don't know if they can cover 50 plus points. That's asking a lot of anybody. But this team ought to win without any apprehensions in the second half, any anxieties. Look good in every phase of the game, but let's not pretend like this first game doesn't matter. Most of what's at stake, though, is probably not in your favor.
Nope. It is not set up necessarily for a season that is just going to be laid at your feet. You're going to have to take, earn, and hopefully pillage anything that you're able to to garner this upcoming season. We'll see what happens. Again, it's a Bandwagon Tuesday. Plenty of things to jump on the bandwagon of. Do have some good news for those that like to fly out of X&A. You've been to Salt Lake City recently. Delta is adding Salt Lake City flights starting in February this upcoming year.
We can go
and
skiing.
then, yes, and then they're also adding flights to Detroit. I don't
need to do that.
Apparently, that is a something via survey or just via people that make a stop and a trip. A lot of people go to Detroit. I don't know if it's work related or what.
Yes.
I would like to go to Ann Arbor and see a Michigan football game, and being that Detroit's pretty close to that, but those two flights have been added.
Good. I mean, I enjoyed the time I had in Utah, so that's good. And I want to go to Michigan to play golf in the summer. I have no business ties or need to go to Detroit that I know of today, but a lot of those flight schedules and routes up there that are they're determined based on all the corporate business and tied back to Walmart and how many people need to get in and out from those markets. So while we look at it as vacation, a lot of it's just business travel.
Yep.
So
Detroit starts.
Can you get 40 or 50 tickets on a 3-4 day week basis, to fill that up with business travelers and fill in the rest of the plane, with vacation goers.
Yep. Detroit is starting up in November, and then Salt Lake City is starting up in February for this upcoming. Now there was you took American to Salt Lake, if I remember that right, or what?
I don't remember. Where did I fly out? I don't even remember where I flew out of. So
Tulsa or something. I was just happy to see this. Anytime I'm always on the bandwagon. I'm pushing hard for Southwest to land in X&A.
No, I flew Southwest. That's why I flew Southwest out of Tulsa.
Tulsa,
Yeah.
okay. I'm on the bandwagon anytime that X&A gets flights additionally added. We know the growth of Northwest Arkansas. Always a fan to see them get places that you get one-way stops to. And so Salt Lake City is a place I have not been to since 2000 and it would have been like 2001. Went to Deer Valley back in the day, but I was just happy to see.
You were 7.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Back in the day. That's funny. You were 7.
I know, back in the day.
Okay. Was that the day? When you were 7, that was the day? So, I don't know. When you're 40, dude, when you're 40, almost 49, and someone says back in the day and they were 7, that just gets funny to me.
I was young back then. It's 20 some odd years ago.
You're young now.
Yeah, I guess. It doesn't feel like it, these ailments and whatnot. So, Sam Pittman had plenty of things to say at the Little Rock Touchdown Club yesterday. Honestly, he's just kind of repeating the same things. There's not a lot of new stuff that he said in the 20 to 30 minutes he was chatting up there, and then also talking with Baz. But I did find some of the jokes that he had to say were funny. Outside of the terrible scrimmage offensively that they apparently had Thursday, he's been in a relatively melancholy mood the majority of the offseason, which I was curious. That was one of the questions I had, is how is Sam Pittman going to handle the scrutiny, the pressure, and knowing that he's going to be listed on all these hot board seats and stuff. And outside of, again, a bad scrimmage where he just didn't look like he wanted to be there whatsoever, I wouldn't have wanted to be there post-scrimmage if my offense had played that bad across the board. He's been pretty chipper for the most part.
Okay, you say he's in a melancholy mood. What do you mean by that?
He's been in a good mood thus far. Is melancholy the opposite?
Yeah, melancholy doesn't really mean that. But I would say he's been very level. We hadn't heard from him a ton.
We'll hear from him on Wednesday.
I remember back in the day, as you say, Houston Nutt used to speak every day, and that was overkill. But I don't know really
every day.
Every day.
Yeah.
I really don't know how to judge what his mood has been when we've had really four times we've heard from him in a press conference setting.
Said that wrong. He's not been melancholy.
No, he's not been melancholy. He's not on the hot board either. He might be on the hot seat, but he's not on the hot board. But so I don't really want to go, well, his mood has been this or that. We hadn't heard enough from him over a month's time to really say, it's not been quite a month, but we're closing in on three full weeks to really say, well, he's in this mood or that mood. So, yeah, I think he's concerned about getting all this put together. I mean, I would be. I'm just trying to, if I was in his situation and I want to go out and kind of controlling the narrative on my time here. This is obviously a critical season for him to at least get to 6 wins. I think that's the minimum, maybe 7. We'll see how the season goes. So, but so much of it's maybe even out of his hands, right? This season may boil down to something as important, but as simple as avoiding key injuries or how you respond to them if they happen.
Yep, he touched on a few things. Also, kicker battle still ongoing. Heard from a few players post-practice last night, and we've got plenty more stuff to get to here on a Bandwagon Tuesday.
All right, got your calls coming up. I had a question. When we move to 9 a.m. next week, will we have the same phone number? Absolutely. 877-377-6963. You can dial us up right now, and we'll chat with you or read your text on our hotline this morning. We're brought to you by Farm Credit. For more than 100 years, Farm Credit's been helping you find the right financing options to build the home of your dreams, to remodel the home that you're in now, or get you started on that next project you have around your acreage. And when it comes time to spruce up that home or, like we said, buy that second home, visit with the experts at Farm Credit. They have 25 locations around the area, or you can go to myaglender.com. That's myaglender.com. Farm Credit, helping build family memories for more than 100 years.
We'll play some clips from Coach yesterday. Coming up, we got Pat Smith in about 20 minutes. Plus, it is another edition of CJ's Trivia Tuesday. You got a chance to win a $25 gift card in about 30 minutes. Coming up on the Morning Rush.
Hi, this is Mike Greenberg with ESPN Radio, and you're listening to the Morning Rush.
The best selection of RVs is now even better at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV has added Brinkley RVs to the already loaded lineup of Grand Design and Forest River products. See the Brinkley Model Z, the latest innovation in luxury fifth wheels. And like always, every new RV comes with a lifetime warranty, so you can camp with confidence. So stop in and find out why Wheels has been voted best RV dealer year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
You got any Ric Flairs in you?
Woo!
That's pretty good right there.
This is the Morning Rush.
Harry Robinson Salisol Ford wants to buy or trade for your vehicle today, and they will give you top dollar. Pre-owned car values are at historic all-time highs, and your car today is worth more than it ever will be again. If you are driving a 2013 model or newer with 120,000 miles or less, bring it to Harry Robinson Salisol Ford, and they'll give you more than any other dealer. Even if you don't want to buy a new car, they'll still buy yours. Harry Robinson Salisol Ford, 1 mile south of exit 308 off I-40 in Salisol.
Here's to you and yours from the friendly folks at In Good Spirits, your upscale liquor store in Fort Smith. At In Good Spirits, they've got what your taste buds are craving, including flavorful wines from around the world, scrumptious brandies and liqueurs, tempting whiskeys and beers, and fine cigars. Treat yourself to the best as you listen to the game. Check out In Good Spirits, 12100 Highway 71 South, across from Riley Farms in Fort Smith.
Work now, pay later with sizzling savings at WT Equipment. No money down, no interest, and no payments until 2025 on select New Holland equipment. Choose 0 for 60 or up to 10,000 cash back, plus free net wrap on roll belt round balers. 0 for 72 or up to 10,000 cash back on mid-range tractors, or 0 for 72 plus an additional 2,000 cash back on a new compact. Work smarter with no money down, no interest, and no payments on your choice of the summer's hottest deals at WT Equipment, your partner in progress.
Are you interested in saving money on your heating bills and upgrading your home's energy efficiency? Now's the time. Installing or upgrading to natural gas allows you to take advantage of high-efficiency appliances that save energy and money. From furnaces to water heaters to gas dryers and fireplaces, there's a natural gas option to fit your home and your budget. What's not to love about that? Don't wait. Call AOG today at 800-842-5690 or visit AOGC.com to learn more. AOG, energy for life.
Remodeling your bathroom? Don't let your imagination be limited by out-of-the-box shower doors or tub enclosures. Arkansas Glass and Mirror is your local source for all things glass, including plexiglass, mirrors, and shower doors since 1964. Arkansas Glass and Mirror has more selections, better prices, and the experience to help you build the shower of your dreams. They also have the only showroom in the area to help you create those dreams. Professional installation and professional service. Only at Arkansas Glass and Mirror, 1316 South Zero, Fort Smith, or online at arkansasglassandmirror.com.
The best Tex-Mex and even better service is at Joe's Grill and Cantina in Fort Smith. Every Friday is Fajita Friday, featuring their charbroiled steak and chicken. It's tender, full of flavor, and comes with all the fixings. Saturdays are for endless enchiladas with Joe's homemade enchilada sauce and all the beef, chicken, or cheese enchiladas you can eat. Joe's Grill and Cantina. Great Tex-Mex, even better service. 3400 South 74th Street, across from Harps.
Missing or broken teeth? Sharp Smiles wants you to start chewing again with dental implants. Scared of the dentist? Sharp Smiles will help you overcome your fear. Big dental problems? Sharp Smiles Modern Dentistry and Implants is your answer to your dental needs and services, where your smile is top priority. Get the smile you have always wanted from the friendly faces at Sharp Smiles, 2600 Market Trace, Suite B, off Jenny Lind across from Harps. For more information, visit the website at sharpsmilesdds.com or call 648-9988.
Hi, everybody. Larry Rath here, Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center. It's August, it's hot, and it's time to flip the lot. So we're giving you the best we got. Save up to $6,000 on red tag clearance prices on a fantastic selection of road-ready certified used cars with warranty. Plus up to $2,000 extra for your trade and no payments for 90 days. They've all got to go, right down to the bare asphalt. Get a great deal on a great car now and help us flip the lot. All the happiest drivers are rolling with Rath.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
I think I side with Ty as much as anybody. I've listened to this program for years. First time I called in.
Hogs breaks it to the outside. He took it. The 15, the 10, the 5. Touchdown, Cedric Todd.
What a left arm, stiff arm. And then the speed was amazing.
Do you want to watch the Morning Rush, Halftime, even Ruskin and Zach? Find our live video stream on Facebook, YouTube, X, Instagram, and Twitch. ESPN Arkansas, more than just radio.
And we welcome you back into the Morning Rush, where we've got some Sam Pittman audio to listen to. We've also got a few Hog tidbits that I want to share with you this morning. Some news that was breaking as of yesterday. A couple things reported by Whole Hog Sports. And we'll jump into those coming up in just one bit.
Brought to you by Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Great brands like Grand Design, Forest River, and Brinkley. And by the way, Brinkley's will be coming to Fort Smith with Wheels RV in a second location coming up in 2025, early 2025. So be on the lookout for that. We'll be telling you more. But hey, the thing that separates Wheels from all the competition is the lifetime warranty on every new RV they sell. So camp with confidence, knowing that you have that lifetime warranty should anything ever go wrong, plus the great parts and service department that's there at Wheels RV. Again, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, and discover with Wheels RV.
Robert in Nashville texted in this morning, said, Tommy, he just wanted to let you know that he appreciates you and all the hard work you put in over the years. He's been a listener since it was the Tommy and Bleep radio show. I'm not saying that guy's name. And it was just a 96.3 on one station.
Yeah.
And see where it is now. He said the autocorrect got him a little bit, but yeah.
Well, thank you for that. Again, next Monday begins my 21st year here at Pearson Broadcasting, ESP in Arkansas. And, it's defined my adult professional life. And it's as big a part of me as I hope I have been for this organization. I look, I'm not going anywhere, but it is a major shift in what I've been doing. I'm excited about it. Everyone I run into the last, since we made the announcement says, congratulations on getting to sleep in. So, I don't know that that's how I should judge it, but I hear what you're saying. I am looking forward to maybe 45 more minutes of snoozing each day.
Yeah. And
until you come basketball season, after some of them late Tuesday night games, Wednesday mornings getting up a little bit later will be A-okay with me.
And you said it last week, we're not retiring.
No, we're not going away.
It's kind of a complicated
unless I win
issue.
the Powerball between now and then. Then we may have a
What's
different
that up
conversation.
to now?
I have no idea.
I saw it was pretty. I get that and the Mega Millions mixed up sometimes, but every time
I would take either one. Yeah. I'm not going to be picky.
I volunteer as
either national lottery would be fine for me to win.
Yeah.
They said, well, it's only at 20 or 40 million this week. Oh, yeah, that, I don't want to, 40 million, that wouldn't change my life at all.
No. Couple texts in here. This one first, we were talking about Salt Lake City earlier and how Delta's getting a nonstop flight. Matt's reminding us that Arkansas will play the Utah Utes in 2026. He got Notre Dame and Memphis and Arkansas State, and now Alabama A&M. Whole Hog Sports got that picked up, so they're not doing the Missouri State game. You're playing Alabama A&M instead of that game next year. Those are your 4 non-cons. And then following year, I guess it's Utah. 2028, Notre Dame in South Bend. I forget what 2027, I think it's Oklahoma State.
I believe that's right.
So, and then you'll play Utah at home later on the years. But that's kind of it's because I bounced around a little bit, but that's what your non-conference schedule looks like in the coming years.
And if you didn't go to Provo, it's been, 2 years ago? That was the 22 season?
Yeah, because you won. You lost
22 seasons
last year. Mm-hmm.
Make a plan to go in 26 because if it's within your means and kids and life permit, that's a trip you will really enjoy. And Utah's right there in Salt Lake. Provo's 30 or so miles away, but man, give yourself 2 or 3 extra days to just see Utah. It is worth the effort.
Beautiful, beautiful countryside right there. All right, some other news. So I mentioned some scheduling stuff. Arkansas also apparently is going to be playing Troy in basketball this upcoming season.
Okay.
It's also Whole Hog Sports. Matt,
does that mean we know 11 of the 13 now? I don't have a list, but I'm going on what Kevin McPherson said. We know that the big ones. We know about Michigan. We know about Miami.
What's happened? A couple of these is like.
We know about Illinois.
The the opponents have released their non-conference schedule, and then Arkansas's on it. Exactly.
UA Little Rock.
Yeah. UCA.
Yep.
Hoping still Baylor and Dallas, but I think that sounds right. 11 and 13. I think that's correct. Speaking of Arkansas basketball, Cal was apparently at Razorback football practice yesterday. They posted some pictures of him throwing a football, so thought that was funny.
That was a close practice. I wonder how he got in.
I guess he swindled his way. He smoozed his way in. There's a recent article written by Matt Norlander of CBS Sports on the subject of John Calipari, and it's talking about the best coaching hires in the offseason. Cal wins by a landslide.
Yeah.
Some other coaches on
Who would even be in that conversation?
They had Dusty May up near the list. Honestly, if we're being unbiased, the best coaching hire of the offseason was just retaining Dan Hurley in Storrs, Connecticut. If we're being honest, it was retaining Dan Hurley.
I don't know. For Arkansas to get Calipari, I think is better, but maybe that's my bias. But
if he wins,
here's why I say that. A lot of coaches have proven they can win a national title at UConn. I'm not saying that what Dan Hurley has done it's just anybody can do it, but we've seen 3 different Calhoun, Ollie, and Hurley all win titles there. It's a place you can go and be a national championship coach. For Arkansas, we have not seen that. We've proven that only 2 coaches can get you to a Final Four, and only 1 has been able to win a national championship. So to get a sitting Hall of Famer and a sitting national championship and Final Four head coach to come coach the Razorbacks, I think is a bigger deal to me. It's probably my local bias on that. But, a lot of people, I say a lot, there have been 3 different national championship coaches at UConn.
Well, here's an excerpt from the article. Arkansas may sneak in to his best stop, talking about John Calipari, with all his power and reserve and the fans. It also is the us versus the world mentality that gets him back to the top. Don't know what.
I think it's a me against the world. I think he is tired of people saying he's washed up, over the hill, doesn't have another act. All the things that were said about him on his way out of Kentucky. The fact that Kentucky fans now even say that he was fired. It's just, preposterous. I think it's just fan talk. But, I think he's got a lot to prove internally. You know.
Well, so does Sam Pittman, and he was at the Little Rock Touchdown Club yesterday. Did have some fun with the audience, including cracking jokes from the very beginning.
Judy Henry had a lot to do with why I got the job, and she was looking pretty good for the first 3 years last year. Sorry, Judy.
I have to be honest. If I was under the impression or under a situation where publicly or nationally or wherever the expectation was that I might be fired, I would not handle the offseason as well as I think Sam Pittman has thus far. I mean, he has the second best odds on Bet Online right now to get fired.
Well, but I think that's his personality, who he is. And you got to remember, he's playing to a room of boosters and supporters.
Yep.
Having some comedy to your routine yesterday was exactly what probably exactly the prescription for a setting of that nature. Mentioning yesterday in the season, we now 9 days from game one. What'd you say the line at Bet Saracen was? 52.5?
Yeah, I think it's 52.5.
So if you haven't downloaded, you won't find that line probably anywhere else than Bet Saracen. They got a lot of early season stuff, but if you haven't downloaded the Bet Saracen app, go to the Apple App Store or just the Apple Store, I guess it is, or the Google Play Store, and download that now. Arkansas's favorite sports betting app, Arkansas's #1 sports betting app, is Bet Saracen.
All right, when we return, we're going to talk with Pat Smith next.
Subscribe to the Bud Light Morning Rush podcast. Go to hitthatline.com or search Hit That Line wherever you listen to podcasts. Don't forget to rate, review, and share.
The best selection of RVs is now even better at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV has added Brinkley RVs to the already loaded lineup of Grand Design and Forest River products. See the Brinkley Model Z, the latest innovation in luxury fifth wheels. And like always, every new RV comes with a lifetime warranty, so you can camp with confidence. So stop in and find out why Wheels has been voted best RV dealer year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
This is the Morning Rush.
Here in Fayetteville, Arkansas.
It's a stunning way to go somewhere new in the 2024 Buick Encore GX from Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Right now, get up to $3,000 off and 0.9% financing for well-qualified buyers.
This video is powered by the pros at Pascal Air Plumbing and Electric. Arkansas owned, Arkansas operated. GoPascal.com.
Thanks for watching us here on ESPN Arkansas. Download the brand new Hit That Line Now app in the Apple and Google Play stores. ESPN Arkansas, more than just radio stations.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
A dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacalé.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse.
Some serious crappie.
Nice speck.
We got crappie.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
BetOnline is your #1 source for all your sports betting needs this season. From baseball, golf, soccer, right to all the top fights in UFC, MMA, and boxing. Every stat, every matchup, and even live odds and spreads while the games are being played. When the game's over, head over to our online casino and get in on a game of blackjack or poker or unwind with one of our over 150 slots games. Head to the website today to get in on the action. Use promo code BELIEVE for your 50% free bet credit on your first deposit up to $250. Bet online. The game starts here.
This song hit #2 without one guitar. Gary Wright traveled with George Harrison to India for spiritual enlightenment and wrote Dream Weaver, describing God as infinite love and compassion, seeing him through the trials of the night. Of the 330 million gods of Hinduism, not one will get you to the morning light, but only through the blood of Jesus Christ. Satan is a master deceiver, weaving many into make-believers. I'm Pastor Heath from Woodland. Think about it.
Hey, ESPN 96.3 and hitthatline.com. Have you been to Swark Liquor? Trey Gentry and his team have a phenomenal spot. It's the first liquor stop in Arkansas for our Dallas and Texas fans traveling up to the hill. So if you're heading to Fayetteville, the lake, a cabin weekend, hunting, fishing, or any other activity you need your favorite drink, stop by Swark Liquor. And check out their apparel too. You'll want to wear it. Swark Liquor, 864 East Collin Ray Drive into Queen, Arkansas. Swark Liquor, we promise to keep them cold for you.
This video is powered by the pros at Pascal Air Plumbing and Electric. Arkansas owned, Arkansas operated. GoPascal.com.
Thanks for watching us here on ESPN Arkansas. Download the brand new Hit That Line Now app in the Apple and Google Play stores. ESPN Arkansas, more than just radio stations.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
It's a dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, Sakhalin.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouth.
Some serious crappie.
Nice speck.
We got trophies.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing.
And it's a fake. And it's a jump pass. And a right turn. And he's going to score. Touchdown, Arkansas. Are you kidding me? What a play. What a catch.
Please rate and review the Hit That Line Podcast Network. Give us 5 stars to help us get our content out to the rest of the Razorback family. Just search Hit That Line wherever you listen to podcasts.
For the first time since 2009, the Alabama Crimson Tide don't find themselves within like the top 4 or 5 of the AP poll. And I know what they do this upcoming season is a big part of the Southeastern Conference. Have you heard Manti Te'o's comments yet?
I saw one on our rundown. I have not listened to that. I was going to wait till you played it.
We'll play it coming up in just a bit. Our buddy Pat Smith at Birmingham WJOX is going to join us, co-host of Three Man Front. Plenty of thoughts to get into SEC-wise with him in just one bit.
Hey, you can be the office hero this Friday morning. Our live show from Hardee's will give you the chance to get $1.49 sausage biscuits. You can get as many as you want every time we do the show from there. In front of our football trip of a lifetime giveaway this Saturday. We've done a couple of these this year. I'm telling you, people come in, they'll get maybe by 6, maybe they may buy a dozen, but we always get a handful that come in and, hey, I need 50 biscuits. I need 100. And they take them to work and hand them out at the plant or the facility, whatever. So, hey, if you want to join us this Friday and be the office hero, you can do it with $1.49 sausage biscuits. We're going to be at the Phoenix location for Hardee's, 1820 Phoenix Avenue from 6 to 9. In fact, it will be our final 6A to 9A show for the morning rush, so come be with us in person for that. You can also get this offer at all Fort Smith area and Sallisaw, Oklahoma Hardee's locations. And join us today from 11 to 1 at Hardee's on Rogers Avenue for our final lunch qualifier. We're going to be there starting at 11 this morning. If you can eat a Monster Burger in 150 seconds, you get one of our final few seats at the table this Saturday at Hardee's, and we'll give away the football trip of a lifetime from Hardee's, ESPN Arkansas, and hitthatline.com.
Pat, how many sausage biscuits do you think you could consume on Friday morning if you were to join us?
Probably at least 3.
At least 3. Okay.
Are you a great number? You gotta have jelly on your sausage biscuit?
I do. Is that a faux pas? Should I not do that?
I always look funny at people that think that it is a faux pas.
Okay. Well, I didn't know if Ty would say you gotta smother it with obviously some kind of sawmill gravy or something like that. And don't do jelly. So you never know about Ty.
He likes mustard on them biscuits. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I've heard that about Ty.
Mm-hmm.
I've heard that.
So
he does kind of have that same hair look as Billy Bob had in Sling Blade. But anyway, that's another show. That's a different show.
I forgot about that scene in that movie. Pat,
and he pulls his pants up high over the belly button like.
That's how you're supposed to wear them.
Yeah,
at least I thought.
Keep doing it, big boy. Just keep doing it.
That's why I'm not married, I think, amongst other reasons.
That's near the top of the list.
It's close up there. Pat, we got our first appetizer of college football. Biscuits aren't necessarily appetizers, but we've got our 4 games this upcoming weekend. You gonna fly to Dublin and come on back for the official week 1 after week 0?
You know, I actually would love to. We're fortunate because one of our cast members on our show, Molly Robinson, she was a scarlet dancer for the University of Nebraska for 4 years, and they actually played in Dublin a couple years ago.
Wow.
So she has been educating us on the wonderful Guinness trip and all the wonderful pubs and all the things that went on there. And she said it was a fantastic time. So there's no doubt. I think Florida State and Georgia Tech fans or Georgia Tech fan that will make the that will make the trip over to Dublin. I think they're going to have a really good time. But I'm fired up for it, guys. I know you guys are too. It's finally here. It seems like it's been a very long time since we've actually had tackle football.
Yeah. I remember back at SEC Media Days a month ago when Brian Kelly tried to give us his Irish accent. That was pretty entertaining. As he regaled us with tales of his time of taking a team over to Ireland, as he say. Ireland.
And you would think just hanging out with all the Irish priests and everybody up in South Bend, you thought he might have picked up some of that Irish brogue. But it's interesting. He goes down to Cajun country and he picks up an interesting accent. But yeah, it's always fun when Brian Kelly around, no doubt about that.
So, Pat, that's week 0. You got SMU and Nevada, a couple other games. But week 1 is filled with some really, really important SEC matchups like Texas A&M and Notre Dame. We're talking about the Irish there. Florida and Miami, which could be a on-your-way-to-fire-me game. Clemson, Georgia, and LSU, USC. In your mind, what's the most important SEC game of week 1?
Well, for me, you got to take a look at this Texas Longhorn team, right, against Michigan. I mean, because you're sitting there going, okay, Texas has been decimated by the running back core. Everyone thinks this is going to be a top 5 team. What about Michigan? Everyone that's kind of put Michigan in your rearview mirror, are they going to be able to withstand not having Jim Harbaugh or Connor Stallions on the sideline for this season? So I think that's a big one. But there's also this underlining current of Texas A&M. Could Texas A&M be one of those surprise teams in the upper tier? When we were in Dallas and SEC Media Days, not a lot of people were giving them a lot of love. What a difference, a year makes with Jimbo being gone. But I think Mike Elko is an excellent football coach, and he's going to put all that stuff to the side, and he's actually going to coach football, and I think he does it pretty well. So seeing where Notre Dame is, a top 10 team, can Texas A&M compete in this brand new SEC? Those are just a couple of games that I'm really looking forward to paying attention to from an SEC barometer standpoint.
So let's talk about the 2 schools in your state. Alabama opens with Western Kentucky, South Florida. Then they go to Madison to take on Wisconsin before the bye date, and then end September with Georgia, which is, obviously pivotal. Doesn't even begin to describe how big that matchup is. It seems like Alabama is having a little softer start. I know we talk about Georgia on the tail end of that 4 stretch and Wisconsin in there, but generally we're used to Alabama playing that marquee game. How did Crimson Tide fans feel about the opening 2 games at least of the 24 campaign?
Well, now that Nick Saban has retired, I think they love it because listen, they're concerned about this trip to Madison, Wisconsin, and you can say whatever you want to, but going to Camp Randall. First time that this coaching staff and this year's team is going to hit the road. It's going to be a hostile environment, jump around, and Luke Fickell's a good football coach. So, being able to see what Alabama is able to do, especially on the offensive side of things. We've heard glowing reports about how this offense, how it's going to be able to put up a lot more points than what they did under Tommy Rees and Nick Saban last year. We saw what Kalen DeBoer was able to do in the Pacific Northwest, so let's just be honest. 3- and 4-star talent. So now he's got 4- and 5-star talent at the University of Alabama. So that game's, one of those, okay, guys, I know we're a 9.5-point favorite, but you better be careful going on the road. So I think Alabama fans are completely cool with not playing that marquee matchup, at least in week 1 and week 2, because they want to get their sea legs and they want to be able to see what they got, try to improve on some areas that they need to tighten up before they get to the end of the month and start SEC play against Georgia.
Arkansas and Alabama won't play for the first time, I guess, since '92 when the Hogs joined the league, and that's something I think a lot of Razorback fans welcome.
Well, listen, the schedule it has had a lot of casualties, and it's interesting because Alabama does not play Mississippi State. They played Mississippi State more than any other team in the Southeastern Conference because obviously Columbus, Mississippi, or Starkville, Mississippi, is the closest SEC school to the University of Alabama. It takes you a little bit over an hour plus on the rabbit trails going from Tuscaloosa. They won't play this year. Alabama won't play Ole Miss this year. Won't play Arkansas, as you mentioned. So it's very interesting to see when you look down at that Alabama schedule and a lot of these teams that Bama has been able to have a really good rivalry with over the years, that's gone by the wayside. Another reason why Ole Miss is getting a lot of love because they don't play Alabama or Auburn on their schedule this year. So it's kind of odd looking down and seeing Texas and Oklahoma on the schedule for a lot of these teams, but not having some of the old school teams that have started this conference not on Alabama's schedule is very odd.
Arkansas and Auburn still square off. Auburn opens with Alabama A&M, who we were talking about earlier, because they're going to be on Arkansas' schedule coming up in a non-con game. California, New Mexico, and then the Razorbacks game 4 before Auburn gets OU. How are Auburn fans that you visit with viewing these first 4 games, and kind of where's Arkansas on their concern level in games 1, 2, 3, 4?
Let's just put it this way. They're going to be 4-0 going against Oklahoma in Oklahoma's first road test in the SEC. There's been absolutely no discussion that there is going to be a bump in the road whatsoever for this Auburn team. Hugh Freeze has done a really good job in the offseason, whether it's recruiting high talent in the state of Alabama. He's gotten about 8 of the 10 top talent committed to Auburn. They're a top 5 recruiting class. He has brought in a lot of dudes from the transfer portal. Defensively speaking, Auburn has got a lot more excitement on the defensive side than the offensive side, just because they're going to be able to rotate. DJ Durkin's the new defensive coordinator. You guys remember him from Texas A&M. Auburn's got a couple guys that used to play for Durkin, and they met with the media earlier this week, and they said, look, it's the exact same playbook at what we were doing at Texas A&M. The difference is that now Auburn really doesn't have that really go-to freak on the defensive side, so they're going to be rotating, no lie, guys, probably about 7 or 8 different dudes on that defensive line, and they really feel like that they've got a really bunch of 4-star talent, not a 5-star, but a bunch of 4-stars that they're going to rotate in and out on that defense, and they're going to be a unit that's going to be able to disrupt things. But they are all about that Oklahoma game. So if they overlook Arkansas, I think Auburn fans are going to be highly disappointed in their season, because they truly believe they will be undefeated going against Oklahoma. They're going to take care of Oklahoma, and they will sit there at 5-0 with the potential of winning 8 or 9 ball games, which, again, if you know Auburn fans, that's kind of the way Auburn fans have always looked at their season. Very positive.
Delusional has been a word with Auburn that's been associated from time to time.
Well, I'm hoping to be in Auburn, Alabama at Jordan-Hare Stadium, and maybe that party will be spoiled for the Auburn Tigers. We'll have to wait and see. Pat Smith with us, co-host of the 3-Man Front, WJOX in Birmingham, Alabama. Pat, staying within Alabama, it sounds like Hoover's going to get that SEC baseball tournament extension. I think they voted, part of them voted on it last night. They got one other committee that needs to vote on it tonight, but it sounds like, according to, I think it was AL.com that had a report, that it's staying in Hoover.
Yes, that is correct. And listen, I'm not really sure when the last time you guys were able to get to Hoover, but they have incrementally made some just outstanding improvements there at the Hoover Met, whether it's the large RV hookups to obviously the surrounding areas with practice fields, indoor hitting facilities, the businesses and restaurants and bars and everything that has just exploded around that area of the Hoover Metropolitan Stadium. It's a no-brainer, and I know I'm biased because obviously I live here and have attended every SEC baseball tournament that's been played here in Birmingham. But it doesn't need to go to Globe Life Park. It doesn't need to go to Bricktown Ballpark there in Oklahoma City or AutoZone in Memphis. It's a nice, quaint surrounding. It's a good college baseball venue where you get 10 to 12,000 people in there. I mean, it's really a happening, and it's a really great environment. And what Hoover is willing to do over the next couple of years, including adding more features before next year's tournament. They're going to spend a grand total close to $30 million when it's all said and done on even more refurbishments and improvements to the stadium. So I think the SEC, being in the backyard, being here in Birmingham, they see the value of having these tournaments and these high events in certain locations every year. Atlanta for football, Nashville for basketball, and baseball in Birmingham. That was a really great move by the city of Hoover and the SEC to try to get that thing locked down.
Is it just the fact that baseball, as much as we love it, particularly here at Arkansas, it's just not a big enough sport? It's just not, the juice isn't worth the squeeze, so to speak, like you do in basketball, where every 4th or 5th year there's a one-off and you move it away, to Tampa or St. Louis or, somewhere like that they've done with basketball. I'm guessing baseball is just not a big enough animal to kind of grow the geography and the footprint of the conference by taking this event on the road every now and then.
No, I agree with that. And if you look, don't want to sound like a geography major, but if you look at the new SEC footprint and you added Oklahoma, and obviously Austin's a little farther south and west of College Station, but Birmingham, Alabama is still basically the epicenter geography-wise in the SEC. So it always made no sense, especially with how many people enjoy the tailgate, enjoy to bring their RVs. I mean, there's a group of LSU fans that actually, they keep all of their tailgating gear in a Metro storage unit in Hoover.
Oh, wow.
Because what they do is they just come and they just take it out of their Metro unit and they hang out all week at the SEC baseball tournament, whether LSU is good at baseball or not. And of course, most of the time they are, but they're there. And it makes no sense to go to Globe Life Park and play in a big old facility in Dallas where you're making the rest of the league have to travel, 12 to 15 hours to get to Dallas. And then how many people are actually going to be there throughout the week? You might have a good attendance for the championship game, but I agree with you 100%. That venue and that tournament makes no sense to move it out of Birmingham just to say, well, let's just pacify the people in Oklahoma and have it in Oklahoma City, or let's have it in Memphis, or have it at AutoZone. Makes no sense. So I'm glad it worked out for Hoover.
Does corn dog batter hold up in a storage unit over a year's time?
Yes,
Okay.
it does. A lot of preservatives, but they make it work.
Pat, we'll leave it there, man. Appreciate you waking up early with us this morning.
Early? What are you talking about? I'm ready for lunch, man.
Go grab you some. Go get you some biscuits or something, man.
Hey, by the way, how many belts do you think is going to be sent to Sam Pittman since he busted his belt at the Little Rock
Touchdown Club yesterday? He is going to get I would guess a good chunk mailed to him and Jamie's house. That was pretty funny when he said that yesterday.
Or new ties, one or the other.
That too.
That is good stuff. Hey guys, always appreciate it. Talk soon.
All right, Pat. Thanks, Pat. For those that missed that, maybe haven't heard that yesterday, Coach Pittman joking yesterday about a couple things. He was at the Little Rock Touchdown Club yesterday, and here was the belt story that Pat just referred to.
Number 2, I get on that fancy bus they meet us with, and my damn belt exploded. Yeah, I didn't forget it, Frank. It just exploded. So, luckily, Baz has put on about 50. And he came to my rescue. So thank you for gaining weight, my friend. You did a great job.
I laughed out loud when I heard him say that yesterday. Again, he's got a gift. I hope I hope they have a good season. I hope he's joyous and happy after this year. I don't want to see him in a bad mood.
We all love Sam. We love that part. You just played a 30-second piece of why we love him, because he's one of us. His humor is, his way of relating. But at the end of the day, you got to win football games. You got to win to stay. And we're all rooting for him because we all, I think, want him to stay and be successful. And I think nothing would please him and Jamie more than to find a great sunset for his time at Arkansas, to be able to go to Lake Campbell's and retire, to go to Sam's Pizza, or to go to the track, or any place, and just have a hero's welcome. Anytime you walk into, the pizzeria, or you walk into a restaurant, or you're just out, running the lake, I think that's one of the goals, is finding a high ground to end this thing on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And you got to win to do that.
All right, we got our CJ's Trivia Tuesday question coming up in just a bit. Your calls and texts welcome on our hotline as well, 877-377-6963.
Quick word for the Fence Man, the company we love and trust when it comes to anything involving a fence. And it's not just the fact that they got great crews that can come out and get the post set, get that done right, and put all the board, the runners and the pickets up. There's a lot more to it than that, but it's the people. And it starts with Sean, and it starts with the staff there at the Fence Man that just take care of every detail. I can tell you from personal experience, I can tell you from building a fence for my mom and many friends of mine over the years of our partnership here together, the job they have done and the attention to detail. And, a lot of people claim that, they're going to guarantee your satisfaction. I just see it. A lot of times you don't have to call and nitpick something, but on occasion you want something a little different or something didn't quite meet your standard. Man, Sean has been on it each and every time to make sure you are truly satisfied with the job they do. Big or small jobs, no problem. Industrial, commercial jobs, no problem. I can just tell you this, you can trust the Fence Man. 782-3936, 479-782-3936. The Fence Man, he ain't afraid of no work.
Real quick text before we get into our trivia question. Rick in Fayetteville, I will agree with him on this. You move it to a place like Gold Life because it's indoors, so you don't have the weather delays. It is pretty normal to have weather delays in Hoover and Omaha that time of year.
Yeah, but at the same time, Hoover's got the extra practice facilities and the ability for teams to get ready so they can shorten the time between games. I don't know what all at Globe Life is is there. I'm sure they've got batting cages and hitting lanes and places for teams to get ready, but it's a big league facility. But I just think you grow the sport to a degree by moving it around some. Make Hoover home base, that's fine, but every fourth or fifth year, let's venture out a little bit.
All right, it's time to give away some burgers, fries, and shakes, thanks to our friends at CJ's.
This is CJ's Trivia Tuesday, presented by CJ's Butcher Boy Burgers in Fayetteville and Russellville.
It's delicious.
There must be 50 customers out there. It's unbelievable.
When all you do are burgers, they have to be the best.
So we've been talking a little Morning Rush history the last couple days. Reminder, the Chuck and Bo Show begins on Monday from 6 to 9. The Morning Rush will be from 9 to 11. Was it 18 years, Tommy, of the Morning Rush?
18, yeah. We started the Morning Rush. Ironically, we had a different show that Bo Mattingly, Mike Irwin, I occasionally appeared on, then Grant Hall did in 2005, and then we brought that forward to the Morning Rush as we know it kind of now and ever since in July of 06.
Okay. Well, since we're on the subject of Morning Rush history, I thought about saying just the host of the Morning Rush prior to me, but we're going to do the two quarterbacks that have co-hosted the Morning Rush. One's pretty easy, and technically there's been three because Matt Jones has helped fill in, I think, one day with me. But I just want the two. These were more of the two full-time Morning Rush co-hosts, two former Arkansas quarterbacks. If you could name them, 877-377-6963. Christian, who do we have on the line?
We lost him.
Okay. All right. Again, here's our CJ's Trivia Tuesday question. You guys failed last week. You got an F. I need an A.
If you paid attention for a while, this shouldn't be hard.
The two former Arkansas quarterbacks that have co-hosted the Morning Rush with Tommy and whoever the other host is at the time.
I think it was Derek in both cases.
Okay. 877.
I know it was.
377-6963. All right, Christian, who we got back?
Virgil in Mountainburg.
Virgil in Mountainburg. Virgil, what is the answer to our CJ's Trivia Tuesday question?
Would one of them be Quinn Grovey?
That is not correct. All right, we're going to move on. Virgil, I appreciate you calling in. I really don't want two Fs in a row, guys. Two quarterbacks that have co-hosted the Morning Rush with Derek Ruskin and Tommy Kraft. This is not, I don't think it's too complicated of a question. I had to be reminded of it back in the day, a couple years ago, but I obviously worked with one of them. And then the other one is, you should know this, he does radio now. He does radio now in addition to other things that he's doing. Again, 877-377. If we fail 2 weeks in a row, I might just tell Keith we're discontinuing this segment.
I bet you don't.
I hope not. I hope not. I feel
we got the phones lit up.
The fact that we've delayed. All right, Christian, who we got this time?
This one
David
would be
in Fayetteville.
David in Fayetteville?
You couldn't just Google this, I don't think.
No, I don't think it would pop up.
You got to know.
David, what is the answer to our CJ's Trivia Tuesday question?
Would it be Tyler Wilson and Clint Starr?
That is it.
Absolutely.
David in Fayetteville, congratulations. You have not failed our audience. Thank you for coming through. You get an A+. Yes. Tyler Wilson, Clint Sterner, former co-host of the Morning Rush back in the day. When was Clint? I got here right during when Tyler was still doing it. When was Clint?
Clint would have been 2007, 2008, 9, somewhere right in there.
Mm-hmm.
He was with us a year or two, and then Tyler came in right as his playing career. May have been a little bit later, 9 or 10, maybe with Clint Sterner. But he was living in Little Rock at the time and joined us for a few hours. That was when we made the move to 6 a.m. So it was great to have.
Because it was initially 7 to 9.
Initially 7 to 9, and I think it was 2008 or 9 we moved to 3 hours and have been ever since. So then Tyler joined us following his professional playing career.
All right, well, congratulations to David and Fayetteville. We do it every single Tuesday, a little after 6:45. CJ's Trivia. Really appreciate Keith and his team, both Fayetteville, and Keith and Sally and their team in Russellville, taking care of us every single week, taking care of you. I know that we had a listener, Ryan, that spoke yesterday and talked about that he was happy to get a CJ's Trivia Tuesday gift card. That's because CJ's has the best burgers, fries, and shakes in all of Arkansas. 2 great locations, and excited I know they are for the upcoming football season. So stop on by and see Keith and his team, both Russellville and Fayetteville. CJ's Butcher Boy Burgers. When all you do are burgers, they have to be the best. Hour 2 is next.
Here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
Work now, pay later with sizzling savings at WT Equipment. No money down, no interest, and no payments until 2025 on select New Holland equipment. Choose 0 for 60 or up to 10,000 cash back, plus free net wrap on roll belt round balers. 0 for 72 or up to 10,000 cash back on mid-range tractors, or 0 for 72 plus an additional 2,000 cash back on a new compact. Work smarter with no money down, no interest, and no payments on your choice of the summer's hottest deals at WT Equipment, your partner in progress.
Do you feel that, Arkansas? The Lotto jackpot is now more than $3 million. Why should you care? Because this $3 million plus prize can only be won in Arkansas. There are 2 Lotto drawings every week, and the jackpot keeps growing until there's a winner. Join the fun and play Lotto today. A $2 ticket could change your life. Get yours in stores today. Call 1-800-522-4700 for Problem Gambling Helpline.
The best selection of RVs is now even better at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV has added Brinkley RVs to the already loaded lineup of Grand Design and Forest River products. See the Brinkley Model Z, the latest innovation in luxury fifth wheels. And like always, every new RV comes with a lifetime warranty, so you can camp with confidence. So stop in and find out why Wheels has been voted best RV dealer year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
This is the Morning Rush.
The best things in life never change. They just get better, like Hardee's Original Bag, just $6.99. Loaded with fries, a drink, and 2 full-size favorites. A juicy charbroiled double cheeseburger, melty hot ham and cheese sandwich, or crispy hand-breaded chicken tender wrap. Choose any 2 plus fries and a drink, all only $6.99. Hardee's Original Bag, loaded with handcrafted goodness. It's the greatest meal deal for your buck. Available for a limited time at participating restaurants.
Hi, everybody. Larry Rath here, Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center. It's August, it's hot, and it's time to flip the lot. So we're giving you the best we got. Save up to $6,000 on red tag clearance prices on a fantastic selection of road-ready certified used cars with warranty. Plus up to $2,000 extra for your trade and no payments for 90 days. They've all got to go, right down to the bare asphalt. Get a great deal on a great car now and help us flip the lot. All the happiest drivers are rolling with Rath.
Nothing says summer fun like fishing with a Thill bobber with the family. America's favorite floats by Thill are available in a variety of sizes and colors. These premium balsa wood floats are made by the thousands at Pradco in Fort Smith, Arkansas. They are great at detecting the slightest bites by fish and work great in tandem with crickets and redworms. Available at Walmart, Bass Pro Shops, Academy, LureNet.com, and tackle shops everywhere. America's favorite floats by Thill.
The Solid Rock has been locally owned for over 46 years. When was the last time you were there? So much more than a bookstore. They have Christian t-shirts, church supplies, Bible studies, devotionals, home decor, gifts, and of course, a large selection of Bibles. And Bibles are engraved free of charge while you wait. Now, you can get custom laser engraving on select gift items and some Bibles. Located next to Sam's Club on South 74th, The Solid Rock is your source for faith-based books, music, clothing, and more. The Solid Rock, 452-4844.
Walk-Ons is always a win, whether it's for a post-game celebration, drinks with the crew, or an easy weeknight dinner. Walk-Ons has you covered. Scratch-made dishes, wall-to-wall TVs, craft beers and cocktails. Dig into their mouth-watering menu items like po' boys, gumbo, and voodoo shrimp, plus fan favorites like juicy burgers and fresh salads. Find your nearest location in Rogers, Fayetteville, Fort Smith, Conway, and Little Rock, or order online or in the app. Walk-On Sports Bistro for the win.
Hey, this is Dr. Charlie Liggett with River Valley Smile Center. We dial 782-8940.
Coach Todd Holland, head baseball coach of the University of Arkansas Fort Smith Lions. I call 782-8940.
Stay cool this summer with a York high-efficiency HVAC unit. Or for more information on endless hot water and high-efficiency tankless water heaters, give us a call at 782-8940.
That's 782-8940.
Do you need an attorney that you can actually speak with? You need Hickey & Hull Law Partners. The attorneys at Hickey & Hull understand the importance of client communication and are taking the time to meet you, respond to emails, and return calls. Every case is important, and they strive to give each one the time and attention it deserves. Call today, 479-434-2414, or visit them online at kevinhickeylaw.com. Hickey & Hull Law Partners. Things are about to get better.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, lots of sunshine. Our high temperatures this afternoon in the low to mid 80s. We end up with a clear sky overnight, low in the low 60s overnight. Wednesday, plenty of sunshine, a high in the low to mid 80s. Thursday, plenty of sunshine. Our high temperatures on Thursday, low 80s. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by Forest Grain Incorporated, committed to setting the standard of excellence since 1936. KERX Paris Fort Smith. The Bud Light Countdown is on. Arkansas football begins in 9 days.
When you get up in front of wonderful fans like you are, you want to preach some positive things. You do. You want to pump up the people in the audience. But hell, I'm just telling you the truth. We got a good football team, a good group of guys that are leaders in the locker room. They work extremely hard, and I sure think they're going to make the state of Arkansas proud. On Sunday morning, you get up and go to church. If you don't, well, you still can be happy about the Hogs, but I think you're going to feel really good about this football team because we certainly do.
Hey, this is Darren McFadden. You're listening to The Morning Rush.
Live on your favorite radio station, hitthatline.com and the Hit That Line Now app.
Don't say it's a fine morning or I'll shoot you.
This is The Morning Rush with Ty Richardson
I'm a peacock. You gotta let me fly.
and Tommy Kraft.
They're going to go nuts when he hits this thing.
Produced by Christian Johnston.
How about this, devil?
Call or text the program at 877-377-6963.
Let's stand up and call those Hogs.
So if you're off the bandwagon of Arkansas football in 2024, Sam Pittman trying to do everything in his power to get you back on before the season and hopefully during the season. He just heard him there. Talked to the Little Rock Touchdown Club yesterday. Talked about his football team and had some fun along the way.
Y'all know I hired Bobby Petrino or no? It wasn't a very popular move in the state, and I'm going, damn, I should have hired somebody they wanted, you know.
So again, it's as you pointed out earlier, Tommy, booster setting, cracking jokes, having fun, and cutting up a little bit, which he did a good job of for 20 or 30 minutes, whatever it was. And now we're single digits days out till he'll be back in the Little Rock area on August the 29th.
Well, I mean, you're serving up red meat to some of your most staunch supporters. Frank Fletcher's in the room, who have a close personal relationship with Bobby Petrino. I think if you really knew all the behind the scenes details, was integral in maybe greasing the skids at least for his return. And we certainly know Bobby Petrino came to the Little Rock Touchdown Club a while back and, bared his heart and his emotions and gave an apology. So listen, that was a room, ready to have a great time with the head coach. And all of them are wanting him to be successful this year. So, I mean, he was in a friendly environment yesterday, and his humor and his wit and his personality showed out as a result of that.
Well, Andy Mountain Home doesn't care. He thinks it's the same coach speak, and they're going to suck. And listen, you can have that opinion. I've said it all offseason. I think 5 or 6 wins, hoping they get to 6, maybe 7 if they get a bowl game. If they win any more than that, I'll be ecstatic. That's just kind of where I am with this football team right now.
All right, that's where we begin hour number 2 this morning. We're brought to you by APAC Arcola and Standard Materials Group. They have immediate openings in Northwest Arkansas. If you're a licensed CDL driver, heavy equipment operator, maybe you're an electrician or a diesel mechanic, they could really use you on their team. Go to jobs.crh.com. Look at all the openings and availability they have for a job right now for you with top pay, a sign-on bonus, benefits that include insurance, retirement, and profit sharing. Again, that's jobs.crh.com. APAC Arcola and Standard Materials Group, they are equal opportunity employers.
We'll play some more clips in the next hour or so from Coach yesterday at the Little Rock Touchdown Club, but I made reference to a Manti Te'o clip in the first hour. We haven't gotten a chance to listen to it just yet. A little background: former Notre Dame linebacker, guy that was possibly he was in the running for the Heisman Trophy. They played Alabama in the national championship game. As Zach Arns and everyone else saw, it did not go well. Now, he is on the NFL Network now, and he shared kind of a backstory a little bit of them before that game and what it was like seeing the Crimson Tide coming out of that locker room.
We were playing at the Hard Rock Cafe Stadium, Miami Dolphins Stadium. And for people that don't know anything about that stadium, there's only one tunnel. So both teams come out of the tunnel. We were the number 1 ranked team in the country that year, so we're the home team. We came out of our locker room first. Alabama's locker room door opens and they start running out, right? And they're going out, and I do remember this very vividly. My soon-to-be teammate, DJ Fluker, and Chance Warmack come running out of the locker room with their jerseys
tucked underneath.
No, it's up. Their big bellies are out, and they have their fours up. And I remember DJ going by and saying, "Womp, womp, womp, womp." And I remember vividly remembering the silence behind me, and I kind of glanced back at my teammates, and the eyes on them were so large, I knew at that time, I was like, all right, this is going to be a long day.
And it was. Alabama obliterated Zach's Notre Dame Fighting Irish. Notre Dame gave them a much better battle, the college football playoff years later. But as often teams do against the Crimson Tide in a playoff or national championship game, they wilt and fall short. The reason I bring up that clip is because I was thinking about teams, whether Arkansas's played or my favorite team in basketball or baseball, whatever the case may be, that I was genuinely afraid of playing. That 05 USC team where Arkansas went to Southern California. Tommy, you've talked about us giving away 2 tickets out there, right? It was
our first football trip of a lifetime.
Yeah, and it was, with this being the nearly 20 years of it, it was the USC-Arkansas game and the UCLA-Oklahoma.
Yep,
is that right?
2 games one day,
okay.
2 just iconic venues, the Coliseum, and then, of course, the Rose Bowl. So, I mean, got to go see 2 games in one day in 2 great places.
The reason I bring them up is, unlike Manti Te'o, who actually played a certain team, and Alabama was very potent, that USC team in 2005 scared the bejesus out of me, and Arkansas lost like 70-17. It was a massacre. Texas ended up beating them in the national championship game, but you rolled out 2 Heisman Trophy winners, Matt Leinart and Reggie Bush. Matt won it that year, Reggie Bush won it that year. Matt Leinart won it the year before. You had guys like Lindale White, Jarrett, Steve Smith, Brian Cushing on defense. I know there's been some great Miami teams and other. That was the team in my lifetime, though, that I was genuinely afraid of playing, and the outcome kind of bared that straight up.
You were afraid? What were you, 11? You were 11 years old?
I just thought Arkansas was going to get obliterated, and they did. And then next year, they actually played them for a half with John David Booty, and then it was like 50-14 after that. That was the team that I was like, no chance, no shot. I'm scared of actually playing this team in football.
Well,
and
I mean,
panned out like
the
that.
06 game, the most notable thing that happened in the 06 game in Fayetteville was Mitch Mustaine coming in at the end and basically replotting the course of the season. So, I mean, but that was maybe one of the hardest tickets I've ever seen to get at Arkansas. There were no tickets available outside the stadium. One of the few times for a huge game. I always thought the demand for a ticket on that game was bigger than the 2010 Alabama game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you've always told that story.
We gave away. Chuck was doing sports rap at the time, and we have a pair of tickets that we were giving away, 50-yard line seats that we gave away at a car dealer, and we legitimately gave out numbered tickets, and you only got one, and we legitimately had 465 people standing around waiting when we drew the name because
that's unbelievable.
I mean, that was a huge number to show up for a drawing of that nature at like 6 o'clock at night. So 7 o'clock at night. It was a big deal.
So what is your team? What is the team that you're like, I do not want to play these guys. I think this is going to be a bloodbath or a massacre.
Alabama's been that team for the better part of 30 years, but certainly the last 15. I mean, Alabama's just out physicaled everybody. They've been, they out 5-star everybody, out 4-star everybody. They out coach everybody under Saban. So, I mean, I don't know how you come up with a name other than Alabama the last 15 years.
Georgia, I think, is that team. And I know the SEC's expanded, and I think you and I differ on this, but I really do think Georgia's going to fall into that mold with Nick Saban retiring. I thought that was the lone. I mean, Kirby, that's really the only thing that stood in his way these last few years. And now that obstacle is gone. That's why I think that Georgia, as long as they keep their off-the-field incidents at a, you're never going to keep them completely. You're never going to completely eliminate them, but if you can hold them at bay as best you can, then I think that, again, there's a long runway for a guy that's, 1 year older than you?
Thanks for mentioning that. Yeah, Kirby has had a great 9-year run. I think it's 9 years already at Georgia. So, listen, I know they had the tragic death following a celebration of one of their national titles, but speeding tickets aren't going to slow them down. As long as it doesn't escalate, that's not going to change anything.
Let's talk to Robert, who's in Fort Smith this morning. Robert, you had some thoughts on that USC Arkansas game, the UCLA and Oklahoma game back in the day.
Hey guys, I got the privilege to see that USC machine twice. I went down to Florida to the Orange Bowl and watched OU and USC. Then I did go see both games, OU and UCLA and Arkansas. And people were just like, "Oh my God!" when they saw that USC, it's like it was unreal how they were. And OU people and UCLA, the student body had just barely gotten into class. So there wasn't that many people there, and then you go to the college, and then you go over to the Rose Bowl, it was just a whole different deal.
Yeah, that USC team was loaded. Robert, got a couple more texts. Joe brings up when Jimmy Johnson brought that Miami Hurricanes team into War Memorial.
Yeah.
Now, Arkansas got slaughtered that day, but they played them close the next year, right? Or did I flip the years up?
I don't remember the order, but there was one. Atwater dropped an interception, and if you don't drop the interception, perhaps you win the game. You likely high likelihood you win the game.
Emmett from Springdale asks, was Manti Te'o more scared of the Alabama Crimson Tide or his fake girlfriend? That's something that will stay with him the rest of his life. But yeah, that USC team, at least in my lifetime, is the one. There's plenty of Alabama teams that have scared you, but that USC team was a different animal back then.
Yeah. Hey, Morning Rush going to be on the road this Friday. In fact, it will be our final 6 to 9 show. You can join us at Hardee's. We'll be celebrating with $1.49 sausage biscuits all morning long. So you can be the office hero. Pick up those $1.49 sausage biscuits this Friday at any Fort Smith or Sallisaw, Oklahoma Hardee's location. Be there from 11 to 1 as we give away one of the last spots or two for the football trip of a lifetime qualifier. We'll do that today. If you can eat a Monster Burger in 150 seconds or less, you'll get one of the final seats at the table. $1.49 sausage biscuits this Friday at Hardee's. It's the 19th annual football trip of a lifetime, brought to you by Hardee's, ESPN Arkansas, and hitthatline.com. We'll have the Morning Rush Daily Question. That's on the way. Labor Day coming up as well, the final big summer holiday. If you find yourself going to a picnic or a barbecue or a watch party or the lake, the Labor Day weekend has become a traditional time for family and friends to wind down summer. Sadly, Labor Day has also become one of the deadliest times in Arkansas as well. We don't think about it, but with drunk drivers endangering themselves and others, we all know it's illegal to drive with a blood alcohol level of 0.08 or higher. If you do, the consequences are severe. You'll lose your license. You go to jail, court costs, attorney fees, fines. It starts racking up. Plus, you'll have to have an ignition interlock just to start your car, and you get to pay for that as well. Doesn't sound like a lot of fun, and certainly not the way to end the summer. Just remember this: drive sober or get pulled over. This message brought to you by the Arkansas State Police.
All right, we'll do that daily question talk with Bruce Stan and our hog update, all coming up in this hour.
Call or text ESPN Arkansas on the McClarty Daniel hotline, 877-377-6963.
The best selection of RVs is now even better at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV has added Brinkley RVs to the already loaded lineup of Grand Design and Forest River products. See the Brinkley Model Z, the latest innovation in luxury fifth wheels. And like always, every new RV comes with a lifetime warranty, so you can camp with confidence. So stop in and find out why Wheels has been voted best RV dealer year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
This is the Morning Rush.
The Razorbacks have won it.
Harry Robinson Salisol Ford wants to buy or trade for your vehicle today, and they will give you top dollar. Pre-owned car values are at historic all-time highs, and your car today is worth more than it ever will be again. If you are driving a 2013 model or newer with 120,000 miles or less, bring it to Harry Robinson Salisol Ford, and they'll give you more than any other dealer. Even if you don't want to buy a new car, they'll still buy yours. Harry Robinson Salisol Ford, 1 mile south of exit 308 off I-40 in Salisol.
After I drop the kids off, I have to run across town for a meeting, hit the gym during lunch. Jake has soccer tonight, and Emily has gymnastics? Oh, did I turn on the crock pot this morning?
With a never-ending to-do list, it's easy to forget something important, like setting up a life insurance plan with Shelter Insurance. Your local Shelter agent can show you how to create a safety net for your family. Shelter Life Insurance Company, Columbia, Missouri.
See Agent Chris Dooley in Fort Smith.
The Wave Rural Connect Shoal Creek Zone is open. Fast fiber internet, TV, and home phone available. This covers Midway, New Blaine, Scranton, Delaware, and other areas. Even if this isn't your zone, check your address. We might be available for you. Get your whole home solution. Internet, TV, and phone from a local provider. Go to signup.waveruralconnect.com or call 1-833-492-8372. Arkansas Valley Electric and Wave Rural Connect, changing the communities we serve.
Let me grab my car keys and we'll roll.
Are we still going to that new bar downtown?
Yeah, it's supposed to be fun. Lexi, give me driving directions from home to downtown bar district.
Autocorrect. Suggest Uber. Pick up, home, drop off downtown bar district.
No, I'm driving.
Suggest the Metro bus. Departing in 12 minutes.
Point taken, Lexi. We'll grab a ride.
If you drink, don't drive. Decide to ride. Brought to you in partnership by Anheuser-Busch, Mothers Against Drunk Driving, and Uber.
World-class trout fishing is the star of the show at Gaston's White River Resort. We're a few days away from all the worries and stress will make all right in your world. Gaston's has friendly, experienced guides to help you land your limit. Enjoy your stay at Gaston's in one of their private cottages or reserve a lodge for up to 20 people. Call now and let Gaston's help you plan your next getaway on the White River. 870-431-5202. That's 870-431-5202. Or learn more at Gastons.com. Gaston's, a first-class time, every time.
Hey, this is Ty Richardson for Jake Neal and his team at Jerry Neal's Barbecue. Jake's dad, Jerry, started cooking barbecue at Jerry Neal's in 1977, and Jake took over and has been doing the same thing ever since. I got ribs the last time I was there. Woo! Man, they were good. Don't forget about the catfish either. It's cooked to order, so it's hot and fresh every single time. The best catfish in the River Valley. Jerry Neal's Barbecue, Catfish, and Catering, 1823 Phoenix Avenue in Fort Smith.
It's summer clearance sale time at Jelco Outdoors. Save 25% off summer casual and fishing clothing by Ariat, Drake, Hook, Wrangler, and Under Armour. Old Town kayaks and canoes, marked to cost. Save hundreds of dollars on the Old Town while they last. Archers, get ready for early bow season. Don't miss the summer clearance sale at Jelco Outdoors, 4600 South Zero in Fort Smith.
Sometimes I'm in a hurry. Stay in the slow lane, buddy. That's when I use the Sodies app to order my favorites and pick up in their drive-thru. They even offer a 10% discount on your first app order. Experience different at Sodies Wine and Spirits off I-540 on Phoenix Avenue.
Ever
day is worth celebrating at Uncorked. Cocktails, wine, craft beer, bourbons, and unbelievably great food. Uncorked on Phoenix Avenue next to Sodi's.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3. Social Morning Rush Daily Question.
All right, you men. I'm going to ask you a question, and I want you to answer to the best of your ability.
It's going to be a quick answer to an incredibly terrible, long question.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
Check out Nate and Christian's Place in Lowell online at cartpathsocial.com. Cart Path Social, the getting out of the sun, making golfing fun.
You know, one of the worst fears, I think, for anyone is to have a wardrobe malfunction, particularly when you're in front of a crowd, you're performing, or you're speaking, something's going on where you're in the spotlight. This more or less happened yesterday with Sam Pittman.
Number 2, I get on that fancy bus they meet us with, and my damn belt exploded. Yeah, I didn't forget it, Frank. It just exploded. So, luckily, Baz has put on about 50. And he came to my rescue. So thank you for gaining weight, my friend. You did a great job.
David's a good sport there.
Yeah. So the Morning Rush Daily Question brought to you by Cart Path Social. What's the worst wardrobe malfunction you've ever had? What's the most embarrassing and the most worrisome wardrobe malfunction? I guess that's the phrase since Janet Jackson, right? Is wardrobe malfunction. What
your pants splitting? Oh,
see that is mine. Is refereeing a basketball game and you bend over to pick the basketball up or something, and the seat of your pants explode, as Coach said. The seam comes apart. I've had that happen.
I would say it's when you're out and about, your dinner or something, and just off that, I probably got another one, but it's like you stain a shirt and you feel like you're 5 years old again. Like you have a nice polo or you're wearing something, and then a little bit of the honey mustard gets on there, and you're just like, there's words I can't say on the airwaves right now that I say immediately after the fact because you don't have a Tide-to-Go pen with you. You don't have a place, and you can dab it all you want. Or it's when like you wash your hands and you turn the sink on and it just shoots out and it goes all over your midsection. It looks like you peed yourself. That would be mine. Did that at a fancy restaurant one time, and their plumbing was jacked, and I just turned the faucet on like normal. It goes, and it just shoots out, and it immediately goes right to that spot that everyone knows that I'm talking about, and it looks like I pissed myself. So that would be the.
I think that would be mine. I've not had a belt explode, but I'm sure my day's coming. I'm working in that direction. But I think I've split pants before. That's never fun to hear that sound of that sounds unlike anything else in the world. You bend over and you can hear the stitching rip.
I don't think I've done that yet. It's coming though.
You wear a pair of pants long enough and the fibers break down. But anyway, but I think the other one is if you were somewhere and you had nowhere to, in your zipper breaks. I have not had that happen, but I've had it happen to friends where the zipper just breaks, comes apart. What are you going to do?
I've also zipped something up that should have been caught in the crosshairs. That feels horrible.
What are your worst wardrobe malfunctions? Sam Pittman had one yesterday. What's happened to you? We're getting a few texts on that now.
Yeah, Jay in Cave Springs says walking around with your fly open. Yeah. Apparently that happened.
That's self-inflicted, though.
Yeah. Jason Lowell had his fly zipper bust about 30 minutes before a work presentation.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
B in Clarksville had something happen to him in his biggest retail sale of the year. Michael in Cave Springs says his physical training shorts decided to split in the middle of his company commander. So there's plenty of examples and countless others. Probably some that are just too scared to share because how embarrassing they are.
All right, so Sam Pittman's belt exploded on him yesterday. What is your biggest wardrobe malfunction that you ever had that's led to an embarrassing moment for you? That's our Morning Rush Daily question. It's brought to you by Cart Path Social.
Yes, Christian and Nate would love for you to come see him in Lowell at the Northwest Arkansas's #1 destination for indoor golf. And the thing about Cart Path Social, you don't pay per person, you pay per bay. And you can have up to 8 people per bay. It's a BYOB establishment. Bring in your food, bring in your drink. Very easy, very fun. I know a lot of people that have gone. Their social media is awesome. Nate does a great job with that. They've got their launch party next week from August the 29th through the 31st. You can find more about that on their Facebook and Instagram, as well as cartpathsocial.com. Cart Path Social, the getting out of the sun, making golfing fun. I'm sure there's honestly plenty of embarrassing stories, wardrobe malfunction wise, that they could share with you about me, because trust me, there was plenty of those in college. All right, let's talk to our friend Bruce Stan with Pradco Fishing now as he joins us on the hotline. Bruce, I don't know if you caught any of that. Tommy asked a good question about wardrobe malfunctions. Do you have many of those in the fishing world?
Oh, yeah. I was hoping you weren't going to go there. we could go to accidents in the boat. It's a family show, so I'm going to keep it clean. I had a trade show probably 20 years ago in Orlando, and I squatted to pick something up, and I might have been a little heavier, and I've actually busted the crotch of my pants, and I had to walk around probably 4 or 5 hours with a hole in the bottom of my pants.
A little drafty,
a little drafty. Just hope I didn't have to get in a situation where it would show itself. I think I covered it up, but tried to sit under the table most of the day after that.
Yeah, wait till you do that in front of 500 or 600 in a basketball gym, like I did once. That's never fun. So.
Yeah, but anybody that bass fishes, they'll tell you you bass fish long enough. Number 2 is going to hit you in the boat, and you got to figure out, is it going to be underwear or what are you going to do?
Mm-hmm.
So, it happens.
I'm not sure you found. I think that's a whole different category for a
whole different
question.
Category.
Yeah, whole different question. But anyway, Sam Pittman had a belt explode on him yesterday. He took his tie off because he realized it was the same tie he'd wore a year ago, and he didn't want to repeat the inevitable fate of the season if he wore the same tie to the same function 2 years in a row. So I get that. So tells me, Bruce, he's got a little superstition about him as the head hog.
Well, most coaches do. So.
That's part of the coaching side of things. I don't know. People are excited about this season. That again, single-digit days now for August the 29th. I know they're also excited to hear from our Pradco Pyramid of Power rankings. We're on to wide receivers. Curious if Andrew Armstrong makes it inside the top 6 this morning.
Who are the best wide receivers in the SEC? Let's find out.
Perhaps I could be of some assistance.
This is the Pradco Pyramid of Power.
All right, did you homer up?
No homering up. To me, I thought the top selection, there was some debate, but I went with Luther Burden III. I guess you got to throw the third in there, Missouri. Bruce, to me, he's the best wide receiver in the conference. 131 catches, 15 touchdowns in 2 seasons at Missouri. He's probably the best potential candidate to be on the Heisman ballot out of the SEC that's not a quarterback. I got Luther Burden III, Missouri wide receiver, at the top of the Pradco Pyramid of Power.
Yeah, 100%. Best receiver in college football, 1,212 yards last year. And, if they can overcome not having Schrader in the backfield, he ought to just have just as good a year, if not better.
Yeah. Physical receiver with 50-plus catches last year is in my second slot. Going to Ole Miss and Trey Harris. I've got Harris as number 2 in the conference.
Well, we're 2 for 2. He had 985 yards, 8 touchdowns. He's got Jackson Dart, who I think could be a Heisman candidate, throwing the ball to him. So we're the same, 1 and 2.
And he's playing the opposite of Juice Wells now, so they can't exactly double and triple team him either, Bruce.
Yeah. Ole Miss is loaded at wide receiver, that's for sure. So. All right, so Luther Burden, Trey Harris 1 and 2. The third on my Pradco Pyramid of Power is Bond. Isaiah Bond, Texas.
You're copying me.
Well,
you're copying me, man.
Came from Bama, one of their best receivers, and maybe one of the biggest transfer portal exchanges or transactions or whatever you want to call it in the offseason. I got Isaiah Bond, number 3.
For those that don't remember, he's the kid that caught the 4th and, was it 26?
Save him in the Iron Bowl?
For Jalen Milroe.
Yeah. They remember.
Bond.
he averaged 13.9 yards per reception with Milrow, so I'm thinking with Quinn Ewers, that might be even better.
All right, so Burton, Harris, Bond. I go Deion Burks from Oklahoma as my number 4 wide receiver. 47 catches, 630 yards, 7 touchdowns a season ago. I've got Deion Burks, number 4.
Well, this is where I think we part ways. I went with a newcomer, C.J. Daniels at LSU.
Okay.
He had 1,067 yards at Liberty last year, had 8 catches against Oregon in the Fiesta Bowl, big body, big-time receiver. Again, he's got to get used to a new quarterback, but he's definitely got the cred.
All right, we got him later on in my list, so that's my 4th. So Burton, Harris, Bond, Burks. I go with a name that Ty mentioned a minute ago, Antoine Juice Wells, Ole Miss, is my number 5 receiver. All SEC at South Carolina before the transfer, had an injury, but in 2021, 83 catches, 1,250 yards, 15 touchdowns. I got Juice Wells, number 5.
Well, I went ahead and homered up for you, Tommy. I went Andrew Armstrong, Arkansas, 6'4" senior, 764. Right. I think he's going to see more balls this year, and I like his frame. I think he's a big time receiver.
Can I guess your 6?
My 6th is C.J. Daniel, that Bruce just mentioned. So he gave some of the stats, nearly 1,100 yards and 10 touchdowns last year. So if I've got Daniel at 6, and who is the name you're missing? I had Burks and Wells. You had Daniel and Armstrong. So who's the name that's missing here?
I'm going to guess Squirrel White, Bruce.
I had to hope with Tommy. Ty, you know me well. I went Squirrel White. He had 67 for 803. I think he's going to have a 1,000-yard season with the Imalavis show. He'll be the premier receiver in this offense this year.
Hey, Bruce, isn't it wild that it sounds like Joe Milton might win this New England Patriots job? I mean,
he's looked the part. I've actually watched him, and he's a big body. He loves throwing the ball downfield and very confident runner. But I mean, you can't coach someone. Son, I wish you look 6'4" and weigh 240 pounds. He looks the part, dude.
Yeah, and that might be the case. But yeah, I figured Squirrel White would make itself this top 6. Again, one of my hot takes, I think Andrew Armstrong's going to be the 5th wide receiver in raceback history, go over 1,000. I would probably have him at 6 within the top 6.
So Luther Burden,
you like my top 6 better, Ty?
I don't know. You don't have Wells in there, right?
I had Armstrong.
Yeah, but I think you got to include Juice Wells in there. I mean, that guy, that's the best. That's the best 1-2 wide receiver punch. The best combo is Cook and Burton, but I don't know if there's a wide receiver combo in college football that is what Ole Miss has on the outside. I mean, that is brutal for opposing quarterbacks and safeties.
No doubt. Somebody had to homer up, though.
Yeah. Hey, glad you did. So I got Luther Burden. We both agree 1, 2, 3. Burton, Luther Burden, Trey Harris, Isaiah Bond, 1, 2, 3 on both mine and Bruce's list. I got Deion Burks, Juice Wells, and C.J. Daniel from LSU. Your last 3 were Squirrel White, Andrew Armstrong, and who else was I missing?
I had Daniels at 4th, Armstrong at 5th, and Squirrel at 6th.
So we're only differing on just 2 of the 6. So that's our Pradco Pyramid of Power. Next week, let's do defensive ends. As much as skill position as anything we've done on offense, we've done quarterbacks, running backs, wide receivers. So how about DNs next week? Edge
you just gave us a layup Tennessee position for the best player in the conference, James Pierce.
Yeah, I was going to say, he just got named AP, 2nd or 3rd team All-American yesterday. He is an absolute beast coming off the outside. Someone Arkansas is going to have to deal with coming up on October the 5th. Bruce, I was in a group text this weekend. I've got a friend that went to school with me that's dating a Tennessee gal, and she's got a few friends, and they are all making their way from Nashville, Knoxville for that Tennessee game coming up in October. I think there'll be a decent amount of Tennessee fans that make that trip here.
There should be. That was a great rivalry when the SEC started, and frankly, it's a game I wish they'd play every year. I think the fan bases are similar. But yeah, that there'll be quite a few Orange people in that crowd, especially Tennessee can somehow get in there undefeated.
Yeah, you think about that game, Tommy. I mean, we had Richard Smith on a week or so ago, and the pivotal play he had in the 4th quarter with Matt back in, was that 01 or whatever? We know what happened in 98, 99. I mean, there have been some '06 was College Game Day, the only time College Game Day has been on that campus. I do miss playing Tennessee year after year.
Yeah, and that was as heartbreaking a moment to me, even as 90, because what is it, 6 overtimes, I remember? That wasn't.
No, I think you're right.
Was it?
That was like one of the few games, because Arkansas beat Ole Miss and Kentucky and all those overtimes.
Yeah.
I think that was one of the few multi-overtime games that
lost that game on the run. I mean, that was just.
I think it was Jimmy Clausen. Was Jimmy Clausen that QB back then, Bruce? Or am I misremembering that?
I can't remember who the quarterback was, but I remember I was at Tokyo Narita Airport listening to the second overtime, and I had to get on the plane, and I was going through the Dallas airport, ripped open the Dallas Morning News, and saw Tennessee won in 6 overtimes, and I started screaming like a little kid in the airport. People were looking at me, and I'm like, wow, that we won a 6 overtime game against Arkansas.
Yeah, I remember where I was, who I was with. I remember getting in the car after watching the game, and Chuck's trying to interview Coach Nutt, and he can't even put words together. He just couldn't do the interview. I mean, it was so emotional. It was such a gut punch the way that game ended. It was brutal. Hey, got a little reprieve from the weather yesterday, but I know it's going to warm back up, and summer fishing, it's still about that topwater stuff right now.
It is. They're still running a little current on the river. Get out and throw a Booyah Boss Pop, Rebel Pop R, Head Super Spook Junior. Use natural colors like chrome, look like a shad flicking around. But, you go early, you'll still catch them on topwater. And, always have that War Eagle jig head with a 6-inch yum thumping dinger, and you can catch a lot of those fish. They're still schooling on some of the Highland reservoirs right now.
Yeah. So find those at Walmart, Bass Pro Shops, Academy, LureNet.com, and tackle stores everywhere. Get you some great topwater stuff and that Pop R from Pradco. We're going to continue. I've had questions here. You going to keep doing some of these segments, and I've had some specific questions about the Pradco Pyramid of Power. It carries on next Tuesday morning. We'll have that in the 9 a.m. hour. So, Bruce, nothing changes next week, just the time.
Well, we both get to come in the office a little later and do our show. But, Tommy, I've seen you at your job since you were at Southside High School, climbing up in that crow's nest doing play-by-play. And, man, you had that passion as a kid, and you were able to pull it off as an adult with ESPN Arkansas. Just congratulations to you, and just thanks for all the work you've done on the Morning Rush the last 18 years. If you're a sports fan in Arkansas, man, you've got to love Tommy Kraft because he delivers every day for us. So thanks, Tommy.
You read that just the way I wrote it, so I appreciate that. But, hey, it's been...
Did you get a discount for doing that?
It's been
Did you
good.
get a discount?
If not, he should.
It's a Pradco discount. I like that.
Yeah, well, I appreciate that. I mean, I go back 30... I mean, I started in the radio business in 91 just as a kid begging to do anything. And I remember Bruce Stanton was the new sports editor at the paper.
Hot shots.
I was just some young snot-nosed kid that didn't know anything. And, all those guys were kind to me at times when they probably shouldn't have been. And, we're good influences. So, I'm just glad, not going away, just glad to keep doing it. So just do it a little bit later in the day.
That's it. Hey, one day we need to do a segment on old Fort Smith radio. Bob Scott and Glenn O'Neill. That'd be fun.
Two guys that were very influential in my early days. And if it wasn't for Glenn, I wouldn't be here now, probably. So, but yeah. Well, man, we'll catch up next Tuesday, a little bit later time, and we'll talk about defensive ends in the SEC.
All right, guys. Thanks a lot.
All right, Bruce Stanton, Pradco Fishing with us every Tuesday, and we'll do that in the 9 a.m. hour next Tuesday on the new time slot for the Morning Rush.
I feel like every time that someone brings up like the years of the show or something like that, and we've talked about this in the first hour, it's like the show's not ending. We got to be clear about that we're just moving time slots, but it is a capacity. It's a part of your pastime for triple of what mine has been. I've been here 6 years now. You've been here 20 years. Will be the conclusion of your 20th year as of Monday. So it's just kind of hard to balance. I feel like at times that
hard to believe I started work here when you were 10 years old, 9 years old.
Sports radio is like a drug. Once you start, you don't stop.
No,
I mean legitimately.
And here's the thing: this isn't my first job.
Yeah,
I've been doing this for a while.
I mean, the two examples I can point to is Derek Ruskin and Chuck Barrett both got out for a while, jumped back in because they love doing it. It's one of those things. Once you enter the industry, most of the time you want to stay involved some way somehow, and hopefully I can look up in 14 years from now and say that I'm still doing it. down the road.
It's been rewarding. It's just been so rewarding. And
the reward now is getting to sleep in an extra hour and a half or two.
Yeah, hey, again, we're not going away. This isn't a funeral procession here. The morning rush will continue on at 9 a.m. and looking forward to that. And hey, looking forward to having programming all day long from 6 in the morning till 7 o'clock. That's that's local and Razorback focused. And looking forward to welcoming Chuck and Bo together at 6 a.m. next Monday. Morning rush 9 to 11, halftime 11 to 2, and Ruskin and Zach 2 to 7. So I've heard this more than anything. Hey, I've got a real good reason now to listen at 9 a.m. and continue to listen at 9 a.m. So hopefully we provide that.
The substitute teachers the last few years weren't reason enough to listen at 9 a.m.
Well, I mean, they weren't talking about the Hogs. That's for sure.
Yeah. So. But again, that gets going on Monday. We've got our Hog update coming up in just a bit. Tom Murphy's going to join us in the third hour too, and we're also getting to our Pro Hogs update. Whether it's Cam Little, Dwight McLaughlin, you've had several Razorbacks make headlines, and we also need to mention some baseball guys like. Why am I blanking on his Dominique Fletcher, who's been pretty prolific in the outfield for the Chicago White Sox the last few weeks.
We'll even continue to tell you every day in the 9 a.m. hour about Gaston's White River Resort. I've had a few questions about that. Are you still going to do Gaston's? And will it still be a first-class time every time? Absolutely. That's still going to be a staple of the morning rush. So we'll continue to tell you about one of our favorite places. We need to go to Gaston's and do a show soon, just as a good excuse to get up there, see Clint, see Jacob, and the
Black
crew.
and chicken pasta.
Oh, man, have a great meal, do some fishing. Love it. It's a great place to have business meetings, take clients, take your management team, or it's a great incentive or reward to a group. We've done that several times here. That hey, if we meet goals or need to celebrate something, Gaston's is the perfect place to do that. 870-431-5202 is the number. Gaston's White River Resort, a first-class time every time.
Join the local conversation on the McClarty Daniel Hotline. Call or text 877-377-6963.
The best selection of RVs is now even better at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV has added Brinkley RVs to the already loaded lineup of Grand Design and Forest River products. See the Brinkley Model Z, the latest innovation in luxury fifth wheels. And like always, every new RV comes with a lifetime warranty, so you can camp with confidence. So stop in and find out why Wheels has been voted best RV dealer year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
This is the Morning Rush.
Bet Saracen is Arkansas's #1 mobile.
This video is powered by the pros at Pascal Air Plumbing and Electric. Arkansas owned, Arkansas operated. GoPascal.com.
Thanks for watching us here on ESPN Arkansas. Download the brand new Hit That Line Now app in the Apple and Google Play stores. ESPN Arkansas, more than just radio stations.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
A dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacalé.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse. Some serious crappie. Nice speck.
We got crappie.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite. White perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
BetOnline is your #1 source for all your sports betting needs this season. From baseball, golf, soccer, right to all the top fights in UFC, MMA, and boxing. Every stat, every matchup, and even live odds and spreads while the games are being played. When the game's over, head over to our online casino and get in on a game of blackjack or poker or unwind with one of our over 150 slots games. Head to the website today to get in on the action. Use promo code BELIEVE for your 50% free bet credit on your first deposit up to $250. Bet online. The game starts here.
This song hit number 2 without one guitar. Gary Wright traveled with George Harrison to India for spiritual enlightenment and wrote Dream Weaver, describing God as infinite love and compassion, seeing him through the trials of the night. Of the 330 million gods of Hinduism, not one will get you to the morning light, but only through the blood of Jesus Christ. Satan is a master deceiver, weaving many into make-believers. I'm Pastor Heath from Woodland. Think about it.
Hey, ESPN 96.3 and hitthatline.com. Have you been to Swark Liquor? Trey Gentry and his team have a phenomenal spot. It's the first liquor stop in Arkansas for our Dallas and Texas fans traveling up to the hill. So if you're heading to Fayetteville, the lake, a cabin weekend, hunting, fishing, or any other activity you need your favorite drink, stop by Swark Liquor. And check out their apparel too. You'll want to wear it. Swark Liquor, 864 East Collin Ray Drive in Queen, Arkansas. Swark Liquor, we promise to keep them cold for you.
This video is powered by the pros at Pascal Air Plumbing and Electric. Arkansas owned, Arkansas operated. GoPascal.com.
Thanks for watching us here on ESPN Arkansas. Download the brand new Hit That Line Now app in the Apple and Google Play stores. ESPN Arkansas, more than just radio stations.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
It's a dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacalé.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse.
Some serious crappie.
Nice speck.
We got crappie.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite, white perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
BetOnline is your number one source.
This is your Hog Update on the Morning Rush. Brought to you by Mr. Sparky. Need a licensed electrician to service your home? For one of their local pros, call 888-8-SPARKY.
We played a few clips from Sam Pittman at the Little Rock Touchdown Club yesterday, and we'll play another one or two coming up. But first, I want to hear from some players. Some of you are familiar with new defensive end Anton Junkosh, who came over, I guess, Albany, FCS leader in sacks this past season, actually played Stephen Dix when he was at Marshall. I think that was their home opener for both the teams. They both talked with the media yesterday, and Anton's a guy that was pretty recruited when he was looking at where he was going to land next.
A couple schools, I had Texas A&M, Oklahoma, and Arizona. Like, those are the official, like, the last 5. It's just surreal. Like, you never really, like, when you go into the portal, you're not really expecting, like, some people are saying, oh, you're going to get just group of 5, and just going on the phone with Coach Pittman and Coach Venables. It's just like a surreal experience.
Tommy, you've advocated for a player to help Landon Jackson out on the defensive line. He can't be a one-man show. If he is, then Arkansas is not going to have the defense that they need to have under Coach Williams. And this is a kid that, while at a lower level, had a lot of success, and you're hoping can not necessarily have the, I think, 14 or 15 sacks he had at Albany, but you're hoping that maybe he can be a guy that's kind of neck and neck with Landon this upcoming season.
And you're hoping, Nico and Landon, and they keep talking about this Quincy Rhodes. I'm excited to see him play some, and Anton, help me here. Junjai, I'm gonna get that wrong. I know we're gonna talk more about him.
I think it's Junkosh, but
Junkosh,
I
okay.
Don't quote me on that.
Yeah. Hopefully they got some deep rotation from edge rushers, but obviously it's going to, the conversation starts with Landon.
Yep, and even expanding on it, Anton talked about him a little bit.
That's a guy to look up to and learn from everything he does. Like, he's projected top draft pick, so just really everything he does, just learning from him.
I think if I remember this correctly, Arkansas has not had a first-team all-defensive lineman, first-team all-SEC defensive lineman since Jake Beck back in 2011. You've had some other guys on defense that have been first-team, but just not that position group. If Landon's that means he got some help, and that means he had a pretty stellar season, which he was really solid last year, especially he was out of this world against Alabama, but he's talked about consistency a little bit. in the offseason. We had some fun earlier in the show talking about wardrobe malfunctions. Still getting text in from Jamie May saying he went into his meeting with the shirt inside out. I can't say I've ever done that with my shirt, but I have worn like boxers inside out before. The tag gets itchy and stuff. Don't know. I mean, the shirt, I think, is pretty self-explanatory when you wear a polo.
I put it on inside out, and then, you look in the mirror, and you're like, okay, I'm an idiot. But, I've never left the house that way.
Yeah,
so.
that's I don't think I have either. But Coach expanded on not just the belt joke that he mentioned earlier, but also talked about just the funny part, like the superstition we brought up with Bruce. He's not wearing the same tie, Tommy, that he wore apparently last season.
Again, listen, he's up there to entertain. He's up there to inform, but when you're in a setting like that, feeding red meat, you want to make them laugh, and that's that's part of the job anymore. Representing yourself and your program is you gotta create a few chuckles.
Yep, and he did that yesterday.
Do you guys ever scroll through pictures if you don't have Wi-Fi and you scroll through? Well, I had one of last year of me, and if you don't mind, and no disrespect, but I had the same damn tie on. And I am not going to go through another season like that. So it's going to start with taking this damn tie off.
What a bad-looking tie. Now, do you ever, if you had a bad day or bad moment or bad incident, do you ever throw away a shirt or throw away something you were? I'm not one of those people. But
no, but if something goes well, I might remember the hat or the shirt or the whatever.
That's where I was going to. I have these Lucky Silk boxers that I call my Lucky Silks. And I'll only wear them on special occasions or I need something to go right. I don't necessarily throw away the stuff that I've worn that I not necessarily had the best day or something like that, but it's the remembering when something went well that kind of stays in my mind.
I don't even want to know why those are the Lucky Silk boxers.
I could expand on
Moving
that.
on.
Might have to off air a little bit. John Calipari at practice, football practice.
Was that one time?
Yes, yesterday. He was tossing a chunk of the pigskin a little bit. Didn't see much more than that. He was written about recently by Matt Norlander, who's been described as the best hire in the offseason from a head coaching standpoint. Had a lot of coaches say some good things about him. You asked a good question, and I presented earlier in the show about what would be a hire that would measure up to Cal on a basketball standpoint in the offseason. The only one I could think of is the UConn Huskies retaining Dan Hurley. In my opinion, that's the best hire or rehire of sorts in the offseason, but I think it's a fair question. I mean, Arkansas kind of, even the national championship game was the second biggest story in college basketball when this Cal stuff was happening.
Yeah, he took over the news cycle, but I still think it's the biggest hire of the offseason. I know you mentioned Dan Hurley being retained at Connecticut earlier, but 3 different coaches. He's the third coach that has won a national title there. I think John Calipari coming to Arkansas, the move after his 15 years at Kentucky. To me, that's an even bigger deal.
So Josh says that USC is the second best hire with Eric Musselman. That is a good hire, and I think Muss will win out there. A couple more tidbits this morning. Staying on the subject of basketball, according to Whole Hog Sports, Arkansas will be playing Troy. Additionally, in basketball, you counted it up, Tom. I think that's now 11 of your 13 non-cons that have either been reported or.
Michigan gets a lot of attention. Miami gets a lot of attention. We talked about Illinois yesterday being added for Thanksgiving Day. You made a really good point. A lot of these are getting out because other schools are starting to release their schedules, and Arkansas appears on those schedules. We know UA Little Rock is on the schedule with Darrell Walker's bunch. UCA is on the schedule. So, it's starting to fill in a few of the gaps. I would imagine soon they'll give us an official release, and the whole schedule will come out at some point.
Yeah. And John Rothstein reported that the SEC supposed to release the conference schedule today. You already know the teams, you know the locations, just maybe those dates and times might come out later today for basketball, at least. On the subject of schedules, coming back to football, Arkansas will not play Missouri State this next season, according to Whole Hog Sports. They will instead play Alabama. And now, Tommy, my initial thought is, hey, we've already got Memphis, Notre Dame, A-State. There's no surefire, easy win in there because the Arkansas State Red Wolves are going to play out of their minds because they're going to play Arkansas in football. It's we got to find a game that is a surefire win. That is what I took away when I saw that story. Is that fair for me to assume that?
Well, you can look at it that way. You also got to look at who's available. Everybody else's schedules are kind of sewn up. Who's available on that date that can come here to play in that year? And, a lot of schools are
fat paycheck.
Well, I mean, a lot of schools are already committed to playing a Power 5 somewhere else or a game that they've got on their schedule. So it's also about availability. Yes, and I don't think Arkansas wanted to pay somebody or pay to get somebody out of a contract. So this was probably who is available that you wouldn't have to jump through very many contractual hoops to make it happen.
Last thing here, and we could probably talk more about this with Clay coming up. Saw this story as well in Whole Hog that former Arkansas tight end and captain Daryl Mason has passed away. Was the captain on the team in 1981. Played his high school ball at Little Rock Parkview. So some bad news, unfortunately, as we end our Hog update this morning. We can talk a little bit with Clay probably about that. I'm going to guess that he has an inside story or two on the late Daryl Mason. All right, that is your Hog update this morning. It's brought to you by our friends at Mr. Sparky.
You don't have to put up with any malarkey. Call 888-8-SPARKY.
All right, Tommy, I saw this story in ABC New York. A couple, and I'm on the bandwagon of this, a couple is charging their members for their wedding $333 a pop. $333 for
to attend your wedding.
To attend the wedding. I kind of like that idea. They called it an exclusive entertainment weekend, and they say $40,000.
I need to know what I get for that. Hey, it's Taco Tuesday at 3:30 to go to someone's wedding. Do I still have to bring a gift? Anyway, Taco Tuesday. I got a lot of questions. Taco Tuesday, Joe's Grill and Cantina, $1 crunchy beef or chicken tacos all day long at Joe's Grill and Cantina. It's the place to really watch football games this fall. We're going to be telling you about new appetizer options and drink specials that'll come up for the game next Thursday, 9 days from now. Joe's Grill and Cantina, Taco Tuesday today, all day long, 3400 South 74th Street, across from Harps in Fort Smith.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
The best selection of RVs is now even better at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV has added Brinkley RVs to the already loaded lineup of Grand Design and Forest River products. See the Brinkley Model Z, the latest innovation in luxury fifth wheels. And like always, every new RV comes with a lifetime warranty, so you can camp with confidence. So stop in and find out why Wheels has been voted best RV dealer year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
Work now, pay later with sizzling savings at WT Equipment. No money down, no interest, and no payments until 2025 on select New Holland equipment. Choose 0 for 60 or up to 10,000 cash back plus free net wrap on roll belt round balers. 0 for 72 or up to 10,000 cash back on mid-range tractors, or 0 for 72 plus an additional 2,000 cash back on a new compact. Work smarter with no money down, no interest, and no payments on your choice of the summer's hottest deals at WT Equipment, your partner in progress.
APAC Arcola and Standard Materials Group has immediate openings in the Northwest Arkansas area. If you're a licensed CDL driver, heavy equipment operator, electrician, diesel mechanic, have paving or concrete labor experience, or experience in a quarry, apply today at jobs.crh.com. APAC offers top pay, a sign-on bonus, benefits including insurance, retirement, and profit sharing. Apply online today at jobs.crh.com. APAC Arcola and Standard Materials Group is an equal opportunity employer.
This is the Morning Rush.
Patriot Transport wants to thank their drivers for their hard work and dedication. The local and over-the-road drivers are essential to the Patriot Transport mission. Day in and day out, Patriot Transport drivers are on the road striving for safety and success. To the behind-the-scenes dispatch and office employees, Patriot Transport thanks them as well for the hard work they put in day and night. If you want to be a part of the Patriot Transport family, visit patriottransport.com. Patriot Transport is located in Danville, Arkansas.
When I go out to eat, I want something fresh. I don't want something that's been sitting in a freezer or processed. When I go to Lily Sandwich Shop, I am satisfied to the max. That's because Josefa makes everything fresh and uses that River Valley farm fresh produce during her long growing season. Stop by Lily Sandwich Shop in the Bakery District and become another satisfied customer. The sandwiches speak for themselves.
My name is Lily. My Baba makes the best sandwiches at Lily's Sandwich Shop. Come by and see him at the Bakery District today.
Hi everybody, Larry Rath here, Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center. It's August, it's hot, and it's time to flip the lot. So we're giving you the best we got. Save up to $6,000 on red tag clearance prices on a fantastic selection of road-ready certified used cars with warranty. Plus up to $2,000 extra for your trade and no payments for 90 days. They've all got to go, right down to the bare asphalt. Get a great deal on a great car now and help us flip the lot. All the happiest drivers are rolling with Rath.
Come on along, head for the mountains of Bush. Head for the mountains, it's cold and it's smooth and it's waiting for you. Come on, head for the mountains of Bush. Head for the mountains of Bush. Head for the mountains of Bush. Light.
Enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2022. Anheuser-Busch, Busch, and Busch Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Are you interested in saving money on your heating bills and upgrading your home's energy efficiency? Now's the time. Installing or upgrading to natural gas allows you to take advantage of high-efficiency appliances that save energy and money. From furnaces to water heaters to gas dryers and fireplaces, there's a natural gas option to fit your home and your budget. What's not to love about that? Don't wait. Call AOG today at 800-842-5690 or visit AOGC.com to learn more. AOG, energy for life.
It's summer clearance sale time at Julco Outdoors. Save 25% off summer casual and fishing clothing by Ariat, Rake, Hook, Wrangler, and Under Armour. Old Town kayaks and canoes, marked to cost. Save hundreds of dollars on the Old Town while they last. Archers, get ready for early bow season. Don't miss the summer clearance sale at Julco Outdoors, 4600 South Zero in Fort Smith.
Has your job been grinding your gears lately? Then let me tell you about Lavorne Lumber. They're looking to fill a regional over-the-road position. They use brand new equipment in your home every weekend. Don't think you're getting paid enough? That's not the case at Lavorne Lumber. They're highly competitive in that area. So if this sounds like a great next job opportunity for you, then stop by and see Pam and the Bills Monday through Friday from 9 to 4 at Lavorne Lumber. 515 Phoenix Avenue in Fort Smith and online at Lavorne, Lovvorn lumber.com.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, lots of sunshine. Our high temperatures this afternoon in the low to mid 80s. We end up with a clear sky overnight, low in the low 60s overnight. Wednesday, plenty of sunshine, a high in the low to mid 80s. Thursday, plenty of sunshine. Our high temperatures on Thursday, low 80s. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by Forest Grant Incorporated, committed to setting the standard of excellence since 1936. KERX Paris Fort Smith. The Bud Light Countdown is on. Arkansas football begins in 9 days.
When you get up in front of wonderful fans like you are, you want to preach some positive things. You do. You want to pump up the people in the audience. But hell, I'm just telling you the truth. We got a good football team, a good group of guys that are leaders in the locker room. They work extremely hard, and I sure think they're going to make the state of Arkansas proud. On Sunday morning, you get up and go to church. If you don't, well, you still can be happy about the Hogs, but I think you're going to feel really good about this football team because we certainly do.
Hey, this is Darren McFadden. You're listening to The Morning Rush.
Live on your favorite radio station, hitthatline.com and the Hit That Line Now app.
Don't say it's a fine morning or I'll shoot you.
This is The Morning Rush with Ty Richardson.
I'm a peacock! You gotta let me fly!
And Tommy Kraft.
They're gonna go nuts when he hits this thing.
Produced by Christian Johnston.
How about this, cowboy?
Call or text the program at 877-377-6963.
Let's stand up and call those Hogs!
And we welcome you in to hour number 3 of the Morning Rush Bandwagon Tuesday. I know some of you have jumped off the Arkansas bandwagon for football in 2024. I don't blame you after what happened last season. Now, Sam Pittman doing everything in his power to encourage you to get back on. Tommy, when you look at this start of the season, I don't think many people's minds are going to be changed one way or another on August the 29th. But, and I don't, again, I've said on the Oklahoma State game, I think it's almost unfair to expect to go into Boone Pickens Stadium and beat what I expect to be a Big 12 competitor for their championship game.
Are they better than Auburn?
I think so. I think you can say that. I really do.
I don't think we know yet, but I don't think it's too much to ask to go and be competitive.
Mm-hmm. And that's kind of where I stand on that Oklahoma State game.
But they've got to win one of those 2 games. Got to.
Yeah.
Can't start 2-2.
You got another chance to against A&M the following week in College. As I said I'm about to start saying College Station in AT&T Stadium in Jerry World. But yeah, having 2 road games, one SEC, one against a potential Big 12 champion representative, not easy, but it's par for the course in the SEC. You just hope that Arkansas's offense can get as expedited as quick as possible for not necessarily August the 29th, but that September the 7th bout against the Cowboys.
Need to look good then, too, in 9 days. Football season certainly on our doorstep, almost here. Download the Oaklawn Sports app in the Apple Store or Google Play Store. If you sign up today, you get futures, outright winners, spreads, totals, player props, game props. It's all there for you. And, of course, football's front and center right now. It's Arkansas's best sports betting app with Oaklawn. Sign up right now, and you get a second chance bet on your first bet up to $250. So if you lose that first bet after setting up your account, if you make at least a $10 bet and it loses, they'll give you a bonus bet of up to $250 of equal value of your first bet. They make funding easy with debit and credit cards, PayPal, Apple Pay, Venmo, on-site cash, ACH, pretty much any form of payment get your cash in or out of your account is there for you with Oaklawn. Plus, it's more simple than ever. It's simpler than ever to withdraw your balance than it's ever been with Oaklawn. Arkansas's best sports betting app. Bet with a brand new trust. Bet with Oaklawn Sports.
Couple of things bandwagon-wise to get into before we talk some Pro Hogs this morning. Tommy, it is National Hawaiian Pizza Day. Are you pro or against pineapples on pizza?
Neutral. I mean, it's not. If I'm going to the buffet, it's not going to be the first slice I'm after, but give me Canadian bacon and a little pineapple. I'm okay with that. It's not my go-to.
It's National Radio Day. I know we're all pro radio here on the Morning Rush. And then also, I am against this. Yelp has come out with the best sandwiches for each state. This is nothing against American artisans, eatery and gallery in Mena. But for my money, the best sandwich that I've had in the state is the barbecue brisket Philly from Sassy's. First, I've only had it one time, but it blew my mind away. I don't know if you're a bandwagon.
So it's not just the best sandwich, it's location, all that. Because if you just had to name a sandwich without a location, what would it be? The number one sandwich. Type of sandwich.
That's a good question. It would probably be a patty melt, maybe. I'm pretty, I don't know, an Italian of some sort. There's so many to choose from, but that is the one that kind of stood out in my mind of a particular sandwich here in Arkansas that I've had and I've loved.
Man, give me a fried bologna and cheese. That's
it for you.
And I should back up and also say anything that also includes homegrown tomatoes, which I wish we could. I guess I would love to live in a place where you get fresh homegrown tomatoes and avocados. I think you just got to move to Mexico or something to do that. But man, in the summer when the tomatoes are fresh, bacon and tomato sandwich. I don't even need the lettuce. Just give me mayonnaise, tomatoes, and bacon. But, man, something about a fried bologna sandwich with some tomatoes on it.
That's the way to go. Collie Hog says, ask for cheese dip on the side when it comes to that Sassy's barbecue filling. That I have not done that yet, but I need to do that. All right, before we talk to Tom, let's talk some Pro Hogs here on the Morning Rush.
Dean to throw again. Time to the sideline. Intercepted by McLaughlin at the 48-yard line. Mertz gets the snap, pumps left, throws right. Hogs blow it up, complete at midfield, but they lose 2 on the play. The pass was caught, but Dwight McLaughlin blew the play up from the right hash. 55, the kick is up. It's got plenty of distance. He's done it again. Cam Little from 55 yards out.
All right, so you heard a couple of Hogs there from their highlights and their playing days here in Fayetteville. Christian, a couple those guys that we just heard, Dwight McLaughlin and Cam Little, having some good preseason ball too.
Cam Little is now the starter for the Jaguars, and we know about Dwight McLaughlin, that nice play he had, almost returning it for a touchdown in preseason. It's going to be awesome to see him get out there and see what they've got when the real season starts. And we also Jake Bates with the game winner the other night against the Kansas City Chiefs for the Detroit Lions. That was awesome to see.
You got those guys in football. Fletcher and Benintendi for baseball wise. Fletcher's made a couple Sports Center top 10 equivalent type of plays these last few days lately. So those are kind of some notable names on that. Of course, the season starts. BA had a play the other day as well, Christian. He eluded a pass rusher and found a guy in the flat for, 5 or 10 yards or whatever it was. So there's plenty of guys preseason-wise they're making some noise that are former Hogs, man.
I think Brandon Allen could be on an NFL roster as long as he wants.
He's a team guy. Yeah. And, Tommy, we heard Felix Jones talk about Bobby Allen yesterday. So
Coach's son's another key descriptor or adjective for Brandon Allen as well. And I think when you grow up in a sports household, in a football household, around that program the way he did, you just can't help but have a high football IQ, and I think that's one of the reasons he's there. You've got to be so mentally strong, not just the toughness that we know he's got, but your ability to memorize, your ability to adapt to a new offense and new coordinators and all of these things that you'll be challenged with in your career. A good memory and being able to recite and recall that information and then physically go do it is an understated asset when you're a quarterback in the National Football League. Starter or backup or whatever, being able to do that is a real skill.
It's one of those things where you have to just be so quick to adapt to various things during the course of any given play. And you could talk with Matt Jones and Clint Stern and others about the move from high school to college and then the National Football League. And Matt, we know, changed positions, but just to even be a backup like you're talking about, Big C, for a number of years. I guess he entered, I think he was drafted, I guess, after it was the 2016, if I remember that right. I say drafted. I said that. I don't even know if BA was drafted, but he's been a part of organizations, whether it's Kyle Shanahan, Sean McVay. I mean, these high-profile offensive minds seem to like this guy. Zach Taylor for Cincinnati. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's not like you're playing for a defensive coach. That's three guys I just listed right there that obviously found value with Brandon Allen.
Well, what year did he enter? 16?
So I can't remember if he was drafted, to be perfectly honest.
But what year did he enter the NFL?
Yeah, 16.
So he's got more. You look at him. He's got more seasons and more games under his belt than Tyler Wilson or the late Ryan Mallett. Because I think Mallett has a 7-year NFL career. I mean, beyond that, Joe Ferguson's like the king. He had like 18. Name me another one. I mean, Sterner didn't last 9. Well, I guess it's going to be 8 seasons this year for BA. I mean, that's.
I wouldn't want my Cowboys to face him if, let's say, somebody gets injured.
You start thinking about careers as a quarterback for former Razorbacks, and he's up there.
Derek in Fayetteville brings up, thank you, Derek. He's drafted by the Jacksonville Jaguars. I couldn't remember that off the top of my head, but cool to see Brandon, and again, still in the National Football League, former Fayetteville Bulldog. The rumor was, Tommy, you might have to dispel this before we talk with Tom. Someone told me he didn't throw an interception his senior year of high school. I know they didn't win a state.
That may be very true. I don't know.
They lost. I want to say they lost like Bentonville and Barry Lundy Sr. in either the semis or the finals. But some former Fayetteville guy told me that. Don't know if it's true or not. But again, guys,
thanks for bringing it up.
Got a lot of success in the high school level. Really a lot of success his senior year at Arkansas, and hopefully continues to be on an NFL roster for years to come because that pension. I guess it's already kicked in for him, right?
Well, no, you don't get that till you're 50, but he's qualified.
Well, sorry, that's what I meant. Right. He's qualified.
So, in my understanding, it's 3 seasons and 3 games, so you got to be active on the 53. And a season's considered 6 games in a season, and then 3 additional games. So you got to play into 4 seasons, and you got to be active for 21 games over that 4-year period, but 6 in each year, and then plus 3. So, yeah, he's more than met that. And again, going into his 8th year, I mean, I'm just going through the mental Rolodex here. I don't know of another one, unless something's just, going right past me that lasted that long.
Ferguson's the top dog.
Yeah, I mean, he had
sure.
like 18 years with the Bills or something, but primarily as a backup. So pretty incredible. All right, Pro Hog Update brought to you this morning by the Inn at the Mill. If you need a place to stay for an upcoming trip to Northwest Arkansas, the Inn at the Mill is the place we always choose to put our family and friends. It's right in the heart of Northwest Arkansas, just off the Johnson exit. That's exit 69 off I-49. So you're close to the AMP, you're close to Crystal Bridges, you're extremely close to the Naturals ballpark, to Arvest ballpark there. And you're close to campus as well to get to the game, or maybe visiting your college-bound kid that's now on campus as well. The Inn at the Mill, 479-443-1800. If you need a room, call now. Talk to Jen. She is always going to take care of you. Friendly. That's the thing with the Inn at the Mill. You're never going to get in the phone tree or have to press 1 for this, press 2 for existing reservations, 3 to talk to, they don't do that. They just answer the phone at the Inn at the Mill. 479-443-1800 or online at innatthemill.com.
Tom Murphy is brought to you by the Arkansas Beef Council. Beef, it's what's for dinner.
Tom, we were just talking about some NFL guys, and we'll start with where we just were with Brandon Allen. Seems like he's been on a roster of some sort for quite some time. What have you thought about BA's kind of staying power in the NFL and how he continues to just play in the National Football League?
Yeah, good morning, guys. He's just a tribute to being a good team guy, knowing systems, being supportive, and all that stuff. I remember he was out for the coin toss for the Bengals a couple of years ago, right? So, he's going to get his NFL pension. I suppose I think he's hit that threshold, and it's been really good to see him. It's been sporadic, real playing time, but I know he got a win with the Broncos one day when like 3 guys surnamed Allen all started and maybe won football games on the same day.
Yeah, that was I remember that day. That was pretty cool. And guessing for Bobby Allen, that was one of the coolest things that he's had to experience as a father. So again, Hogs making some headlines in NFL preseason. We'll talk more about that in the coming weeks. Tom, I do want to talk about Sam Pittman at the Little Rock Touchdown Club yesterday. Very lighthearted and stuff. And it is a Bandwagon Tuesday. He's trying to get some people back on the bandwagon. If you're looking at Arkansas and what you've seen in fall camp, what you'll maybe hear and see in practice in the coming weeks, what are you pretty strong? What are you bullish on the idea of Arkansas in a positive way heading into this upcoming season?
Well, I guess I'll go with what Marcus Woodson talked about last week, which was the depth in the linebacking core, which is pretty amazing to think after all the losses they had there, that, Brad Spence will come up and be a big contributor as a sophomore, it looks like. And then they brought in Sorey and Steven Dixon we talked to last night, and it looks like Anthony Switzer might play some linebacker. And I hope it works out for them that all these guys who are going to be hybrid type positions, know their assignments at each of these positions and can be productive players. Switzer comes to mind as a guy who's been mostly a DB his entire career, but they're playing him some at linebacker, and I think they're doing it for multiple reasons. One of them is to withstand injuries if you have them, and then just be multiple in the way you take on different defenses. I think they've understood that the way Missouri and Auburn ran the ball on them last year, they've got to hold the edges stronger. And this buck position could come into play there where it might be harder to get past the edge. On the Arkansas defense, we'll see how it plays out. But I would say linebacker is the position I would say there.
Tom, you brought up Anton Junkaj and Steven Dix, who we heard from last night. Junkaj kid led the FCS in sacks last year. I know he's not as heralded as some of the other guys because they've been mainstays or they've been around for a little bit, but Landon Jackson can't be the only one sacking the quarterback. What have you thought about him and the few glimpses you've got of him this offseason?
Right, and of course we haven't seen any of the scrimmages, but they say he's a real powerful guy. Clearly he's got some moves. How his game will project from Albany on the FCS level up to Arkansas is, remains to be seen. But after that scrimmage, and this is after June Codge had been out for a week with a concussion, Sam Pittman saying he's in a battle with Nico. So, that goes to tell you what they're thinking of what he might be able to contribute. Nico DeValier, of course. So you're right. Landon Jackson can't be the only guy. He got 6.5 sacks last year. Can he up that total? And can they get it? Can they get it from linebackers? Can they get it from blitzing safeties and then other guys like June Codge? So, I think their D line might be a little bit sneaky deep this year, particularly if they can get some production at the tackle spots behind Cam Ball and Eric Gregory with guys like Kiwi Rose and Ian Griffard.
Tom Murphy with us, brought to you by the Arkansas Beef Council. Patrick Kutas, what's going on with him, and do you think there's any chance he misses game one against UAPB?
Well, when you miss this long with a back situation, there's got to be a chance that you're not going to be ready for the opener. Sam's kind of slow played his responses on Kutas, and I think they're preparing Marion Harris to be able to start if need be. And he filled in very admirably in that bowl game against Kansas, and that was 2 years ago, and then kind of bided his time. But I think it was Eric Mateos who said when guys hit their third year, it's time for them to start contributing because they're feeling that. And I think Nico DeValier on the other side of the ball is in that same position. Third year, it's like I get the system. I've built up now. It's time to start contributing, and hopefully, if Kutas is not able to run, then Marion Harris will be a guy that you really don't notice that he's in there doing his job. And that's the best thing about linemen. When they're doing their job, you don't notice them that much, or they're having some nice kick-out blocks.
I know you were paying close attention to Sam Pittman's words yesterday in Little Rock as he met with the Touchdown Club. What were your takeaways? He was, I guess, jovial. He was lighthearted and cracking some jokes, poking at his wardrobe a little bit yesterday. What were your takeaways from his 20-plus minute address to boosters in Little Rock yesterday?
Yeah, I heard about that with the belt and all that. And David Bads was such a good guy, and I think he kind of helps create an atmosphere, David, and being a good MC. And there's no sense in being stern and too serious about the situation. He knows they've got to win football games this year, and I think trying to be as open as you can about understanding that, and it just means a lot to Sam Pittman. And I say that sometimes on here. It means a lot. He wants people in the state to be proud, and when they were winning in 21, he's like, people can stick their chest out and go out and get their Sunday paper and be happy about what they're about to read about the Hogs. So they've done what they thought needed to be done, influx of talent, infusing some confidence and leadership in the locker room and camaraderie, and they've got to hope that pays off on the field. When you do the calculus of it, if they win closer games, they have a much better record last year, and if your team is more together, you have a better chance to win closer games. So, yeah, the belt, a little bit of a belt situation, and I think Baz helped him out there, and we'll be talking to him up here on Wednesday as well.
Tom, last thing, we got about a minute, man. Marquise Robinson, the kid from South Alabama, also heard from him recently. He actually was on that South Alabama Jaguars team that went into Stillwater and whooped their tail last year.
Yeah.
Is there anything that he can help out the team with? He kind of shared a thing or two the other night.
Well, I think he can, certainly with depth. Braxton is, I think people look on as their kind of lead corner, but Marquise Robinson has played at a good level. He had a pick in that Oklahoma State game. And I think when you add Keon Stewart and Jaheim Singletary to the mix, Singletary is a former 5-star. Then you've got the makings of a little bit of depth at corner if each of them can contribute, and they don't have to play 60, 70 snaps a game. And I do think you'll see some mixing and matching at the corner spots this year.
Tom, we'll leave it there, man. We appreciate your time as always, and we'll chat later on Thursday in the final time in that time slot before we change times next week.
All right. Sounds good. See ya.
All right. Tom Murphy with us, brought to you by the Arkansas Beef Council. On a cattle ranch, calves aren't only raised by their moms. They're also raised by a community of farmers, ranchers, and veterinarians. They're committed to giving their the healthiest, most comfortable life possible to that calf. Because for cattle farmers, ranchers, and the moms of those baby calves, animal welfare is the top priority. Together we bring more. Beef, it's what's for dinner. This brought to you by the beef farmers and ranchers of Arkansas, and courtesy of Beef, it's what's for dinner.
We've got our SEC update to get to in just a bit. Some notable SEC storylines. I've got a funny ref clip that I want to play for Tommy. Have you seen the Canadian Football League? What happened just yet?
I saw this on the rundown, and I'm intrigued as to what I might hear in a little bit later.
It is it is pretty entertaining. We'll also play hopefully another clip from Coach Pittman yesterday again in Little Rock. Little Rock Touchdown Club going to be with the Hogs Illustrated Sports Club tomorrow here in Northwest Arkansas. More to get to. Bandwagon Tuesday edition of The Morning Rush. Stay with us.
Your show is the best one in the state. Y'all are the true ESPN radio.
You're listening to The Morning Rush.
The best selection of RVs is now even better at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV has added Brinkley RVs to the already loaded lineup of Grand Design and Forest River products. See the Brinkley Model Z, the latest innovation in luxury fifth wheels. And like always, every new RV comes with a lifetime warranty, so you can camp with confidence. So stop in and find out why Wheels has been voted best RV dealer year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
Hog fans, this is Matt.
This is Robert.
And this is Elizabeth, and we're with the Stadium Shop on Razorback.
The only local, family, and alumni-owned Razorback store.
Yep, our names are on Senior Walk, and we understand what that charging Razorback means.
From new students to season ticket holders, we have everything you need.
From floor coverings, wall art, game room items, and other stuff to decorate your home or dorm room.
To things for your pet or all sorts of clothing, we have it all.
We feature brands like Champion, Cutter & Buck, Tommy Bahama, Columbia, and many, many others, all in the largest Razorback store south of the North Pole.
You know, your dad's side's starting to go viral.
Hey, what is that a new thing? Can I get a pill or a shot for that?
Anyway, you can call us at 479 Stadium or 479-782-3486.
Or drop by the store at 989 South Razorback Road next to Baumwalker Stadium in Fayetteville. Or if you need to, you can shop us online at them gram thing.
Dad, let me do this. What he means is our website, which is shoponrazorback.com.
Folks, it does not get more Razorback than us.
Go Hogs.
This is The Morning Rush.
All the Road Hogs have the hog calls and the tailgate ready to roll.
Are you interested in saving money on your heating bills and upgrading your home's energy efficiency?
This video is powered by the pros at Pascal Air Plumbing and Electric. Arkansas owned, Arkansas operated. GoPascal.com.
Thanks for watching us here on ESPN Arkansas. Download the brand new Hit That Line Now app in the Apple and Google Play stores. ESPN Arkansas, more than just radio stations.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
It's a dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacalé.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse. Some serious crappie. Nice speck.
We got crappie.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite. White perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
BetOnline is your number one source for all your sports betting needs this season. From baseball, golf, soccer, right to all the top fights in UFC, MMA, and boxing. Every stat, every matchup, and even live odds and spreads while the games are being played. When the game's over, head over to our online casino and get in on a game of blackjack or poker or unwind with one of our over 150 slots games. Head to the website today to get in on the action. Use promo code BELIEVE for your 50% free bet credit on your first deposit up to $250. Bet online. The game starts here.
This song hit number 2 without one guitar.
Gary Wright traveled with George Harrison to India for spiritual enlightenment and wrote Dream Weaver, describing God as infinite love and compassion, seeing him through the trials of the night. Of the 330 million gods of Hinduism, not one will get you to the morning light, but only through the blood of Jesus Christ. Satan is a master deceiver, weaving many into make-believers. I'm Pastor Heath from Woodland. Think about it.
Hey, ESPN 96.3 and hitthatline.com. Have you been to Swark Liquor? Trey Gentry and his team have a phenomenal spot. It's the first liquor stop in Arkansas for our Dallas and Texas fans traveling up to the hill. So if you're heading to Fayetteville, the lake, a cabin weekend, hunting, fishing, or any other activity you need your favorite drink, stop by Swark Liquor. And check out their apparel too. You'll want to wear it. Swark Liquor, 864 East Conneray Drive into Queen, Arkansas. Swark Liquor, we promise to keep them cold for you.
This video is powered by the pros at Pascal Air Plumbing and Electric. Arkansas owned, Arkansas operated. GoPascal.com.
Thanks for watching us here on ESPN Arkansas. Download the brand new Hit That Line Now app in the Apple and Google Play stores. ESPN Arkansas, more than just radio stations.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
It's a dandy white perch.
Big old slab. C'est bon, sacalé.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse.
Some serious crappie.
Nice speck.
We got crappie.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch slab sockeye.
Yeah. Now we're talking.
The Bush League.
Trying to get his balance. If he can, he might take it. Breaks the tackle down the sideline. Got blocked, and he's in. Touchdown, Arkansas.
All your favorite podcasts in one place. The Hit That Line Podcast Network. Just search Hit That Line wherever you listen to podcasts.
And we welcome you back here on the Morning Rush, where I do have a fun ref clip from the Canadian Football League. You get like distracted with the amount of leagues that there are sometimes in football. I mean, there's various arena leagues. There's the CFL.
Everybody's trying to fill the void of the offseason of the NFL and college football. Nobody
and it just
actually accomplishes that.
It hasn't done it. It's not one of those things. My thing, Tommy, is it doesn't suck me in. I would rather watch good college basketball, even sometimes baseball, over the other various leagues. But we'll play that for you coming up in just a bit. For now, we talked to our friend Larry at Rath of Rath Auto Resources and Rath Mitsubishi. Larry, I saw that David, your son, just had a Back to the Future birthday party. Did you get him a DeLorean? Did you get him something nice from that set back in the day?
No DeLoreans, but yeah, that was a pretty cool birthday party, wasn't it?
Looked awesome. Congrats to his wife, who he must have been in heaven that day, I'd guess.
Oh, I guess he had a great day. Yeah, for sure.
Well, hey, you got a great day going on, not just today, but the rest of the month. You guys are saving people up $6,000, no payments for 90 days, plus state sales tax paid when you trade at both Rath Auto Resources and Rath Mitsubishi in Springdale.
Well, we're flipping the lot right now is what we're doing. We got to get rid of all of this inventory. That means they've all got to go, and we got to replace them with new stuff, which means we're going to be giving extra for your trade-ins as well. So up to $6,000 in savings on discounts on the inventory that we have, up to $2,000 extra for the trade-in that you have to help us load the lot back up. So you're winning twice, and up to 60 days to your first payment as well. So we kind of threw the kitchen sink at it, put all those good incentives in there. It really makes it a great time to come in and find that car that's just right for you and your family. We've got a big selection, road-ready certified vehicles with warranty. You cannot buy a better used car. And we've got a big selection of cars, trucks, SUVs. You know, we try to keep all the most popular makes and models right here in one spot, so you don't have to drive all over town to find the one that's just right for you and your family. Come on in Test drive a few, find the one you like. Let us worry about getting the price and payment to fit your budget. When all that comes together, you can start rolling with RAF, which includes that great Meineke car care service after the sale. And, Philip and his team, you've met them back there, Ty. Just a great group of guys that really like to take care of cars. They're great at taking care of people as well. Bring your vehicle in, let us take care of all your maintenance and repairs. We'll keep you up to speed on it, kind of keep you ahead of your vehicle maintenance and make sure that everything's taken care of for you in the shop. Better yet, trade it in now. Get some extra money for your trade-in. Get a big discount. Look for those stickers clearly marked in each windshield. Savings up to $6,000. Pick the car that you want. Let us take care of getting the price and payment right. We're going to make you a happy driver rolling with RAF. RAF Auto Resources in Fort Smith, RAF Mitsubishi in Springdale. Check us out online, RAFauto.com.
And that's Rath Auto Resources in Fort Smith and Rath Mitsubishi in Springdale. Larry, have a great rest of your week, man, and hopefully David gets that DeLorean someday.
I hope so, too. Ty, you have a good one. You guys have a fun day. Folks, come and see us.
All right, speaking of fun, again, this ref, set in the background, I think it was Winnipeg versus British Columbia in the Canadian Football League. Just listen to this piece of audio and how the ref decided to move on post hitting the scoreboard, basically.
See puts any points in the board. That hits the scoreboard. Down at the 35, Flintoff hammered that right into the Jumbotron here at BC Place.
The kick hit the scoreboard, which is pretty odd. We're going to redo everything. We'll redo the play. We'll reset the clock to 2:44 with a new 20-second clock. It's just a redo.
It's pretty odd. Have you ever hopped on the mic and said, I
haven't had many mulligans, but I don't really work at a lot of places where a punter or a kicker could hit the scoreboard. Really.
I was going to say, in AT&T Stadium, Jerry World is the site of the Texas High School Football State Championship games. War Memorial doesn't have exactly a Jumbotron.
Nothing hanging over the field.
No, it does not. But I was trying to think of a moment or story that you've told me about that would measure up to this. What's like an incident or a weird ref story in the high school or college ranks that he kind of stands out this morning?
Nothing that would be similar to that, but sometimes, when you do have a mic, we don't always have one, something unusual happens. You might have an odd way. Huh?
Did you fart or something?
No, we try to avoid that, but, there's not a lot of long file on weird things you could say because most of the times we don't even have a microphone.
Yeah, you just turn it on, turn it off. But I thought that was funny.
No, usually we don't even have one. So.
Oh, you just have to? Do you have to like yell? Do you have to like?
No, that's why they have signals. There's a whole book that hold 3 or 4 pages in the book with signals.
And then people are like, "What does that mean? What does that mean? What is that? What did he call? What happened? Who was it on?" And
most people know the rules, Ty, but we'll get you the cheat sheet. So
as someone that's talked about, I has complained about fans at times. Not everyone knows the rules out there in the stands. A good chunk of people are, again, unfamiliar with certain things.
I would say it's larger than that. Hey, Art's Barbecue, they're back at it today, Tuesday through Saturday. They'll be cranking it up today. And it's one of my favorite days at Art's because you kind of get whatever you want. If you're still recovering from the weekend, you can get one of their great salads, or you can get their special today, 2 perfectly cooked barbecue pork chops with your choice of 2 sides. I think this is enough for lunch and dinner, but it's only $9.99, and it is absolutely delicious. 2 barbecue pork chops, big, thick pork chops, 2 sides of your choice, $9.99 all day long at Art's Barbecue and Burgers, Rogers Avenue, next to Buddy's in Fort Smith.
Tua Tagovailoa had some pretty interesting comments earlier this week. The former Alabama quarterback shared on his former head coach. We'll tell you about it in the SEC Update.
Hey, everybody, this is Joe Tessitore from ABC and ESPN, and you are listening to The Morning Rush.
The best selection of RVs is now even better at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV has added Brinkley RVs to the already loaded lineup of Grand Design and Forest River products. See the Brinkley Model Z, the latest innovation in luxury fifth wheels. And like always, every new RV comes with a lifetime warranty, so you can camp with confidence. So stop in and find out why Wheels has been voted best RV dealer year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
Summertime in Arkansas means pond and creek fishing, and nothing catches bass and bluegill in a pond like a Rebel crick hopper. You can twitch it, pop it, walk it, and swim it. It's the ultralight fishing lure that looks and acts like a real grasshopper. The crick hopper works great in tandem with light spinning rods and reels with 4 or 6 pound fishing line. Available at Walmart, Bass Pro Shops, Academy, LureNet.com, and tackle shops everywhere. The Rebel crick hopper.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
This is the Morning Rush.
And he's in. Touchdown, Arkansas.
Valley Family Dental, formerly known as Riley Farm Dental, at the entrance to Riley Farms, provides every type of dental care and procedure for you and your family. General dentistry, braces, implants, and cosmetics. Dr. Sparkman, Farmer, and now Dr. Blaine Van Nuys work to give all of their patients a better smile. Valley Family Dental, 5501 Riley Park Drive, Suite A at the entrance to Riley Farm. Now offering same-day crowns. 226-3500 for an appointment or visit valleyfamilydentalpractice.com.
The best things in life never change. They just get better, like Hardee's Original Bag, just $6.99. Loaded with fries, a drink, and 2 full-size favorites. A juicy charbroiled double cheeseburger, melty hot ham and cheese sandwich, or crispy hand-breaded chicken tender wrap. Choose any 2 plus fries and a drink, all only $6.99. Hardee's Original Bag, loaded with handcrafted goodness. It's the greatest meal deal for your buck. Available for a limited time at participating restaurants.
Stop by the Golf Nut today and check out the full line of lab putters featuring Lie-Angle balanced technology. Lab putters were used by 14% of professionals in the 2024 Masters Tournament. All models of the new Scotty Cameron Phantom putters are in stock, including the longer 38-inch model. Come discover the biggest selection of name brand clubs, apparel, and accessories in the region. The Golf Nut, 5121 Towson Avenue, your #1 golf shop for over 30 years.
The Wave Rural Connect Shoal Creek Zone is open. Fast fiber internet, TV, and home phone available. This covers Midway, New Blaine, Scranton, Delaware, and other areas. Even if this isn't your zone, check your address. We might be available for you. Get your whole home solution. Internet, TV, and phone from a local provider. Go to signup.waveruralconnect.com or call 1-833-492-8372. Arkansas Valley Electric and Wave Rural Connect, changing the communities we serve.
Are you an angler having trouble finding all the bait, tackle, and more for your fishing needs? Make a Wake Bait and Tackle, now located in Fort Smith next to Witts Marine on North 11th Street, is your place. Make a Wake Bait and Tackle also has the largest selection of plastics in the River Valley. Reactor Innovation, Bobby Garland, Zoom, Mega Bass, and more. Check out the Daiwa Rod and Reels. Make a Wake Bait and Tackle, 803 North 11th Street at Fort Smith, 479-926-9320. Also get your rod and reels repaired. Come see us next to Witts Marine at Make a Wake Bait and Tackle.
If you are involved in a divorce or custody case, you want an attorney you can trust to guide you through the process. The attorneys at Hickey and Hole Law Partners have over 7 decades of combined experience. Hickey and Hole have seen and heard nearly every scenario you can imagine, ready to put that experience to work for you to get the best results. Visit kevinhickeylaw.com or give them a call today, 479-434-2414. Hickey and Hole Law Partners. Things are about to get better.
Locally owned Lumber One can handle all of your building needs. They've built their business on having great relationships with everybody from contractors and builders to the everyday build-it-yourself. Lumber One has a full-line door shop to handle all of your door, window, and trim needs. And along with lumber, roofing and drywall products, attic wall and floor insulation is available. Lumber One also does blueprint takeoff with access to design services with estimates available. So go where the pros go. Lumber One, located on Industrial Park Road in Van Buren.
World-class trout fishing is the star of the show at Gaston's White River Resort, where a few days away from all the worries and stress will make all right in your world. Gaston's has friendly, experienced guides to help you land your limit. Enjoy your stay at Gaston's in one of their private cottages, or reserve a lodge for up to 20 people. Call now and let Gaston's help you plan your next getaway on the White River. 870-431-5202. That's 870-431-5202. Or learn more at Gastons.com. Gaston's, a first-class time, every time.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Except we've got SEC bias. Deal with it. They're the best.
In the SEC, it just means more.
I know one thing. The SEC just got a little tougher.
This is your SEC update on the Morning Rush.
Former Alabama quarterback Tua Tagovailoa had some pretty passionate things to say about his former head coach, Brian Flores, who's now a Minnesota Viking.
To put it in simplest terms, if you woke up every morning and I told you you suck at what you did, that you don't belong doing what you do, that you shouldn't be here, that this guy should be here, that you haven't earned this right, and then you have somebody else come in and tell you, dude, you are the best fit for this. You are accurate, you are the best whatever, you are this, you are that. Like, how would it make you feel listening to one or the other? You see what I'm saying? And then you hear it, regardless of what it is, the good or the bad, and you hear it more and more, you start to actually believe that.
That was on the Dan Levitard show, discussing the differences between his current head coach, Mike McDaniel, and then Brian Flores. Now, Flores has since responded to his comments.
This is an interesting topic because it wasn't strained. We had a good relationship. It was a player-coach relationship. And I think in a relationship like that, the coach challenges the player, and oftentimes the player challenges the coach. I think there was a great deal of respect between the two of us. So you hear these crazy this narrative that's out there, but this is a young man who works, who developed and got better over 2 years, and I think he's got a bright future. I wish him all the best.
It's an interesting story the last couple of days. Tommy, who do we believe? I would think it's odd that Tua would say that unprovoked, but athletes today are a little more sensitive. We've seen him have a much better season under Coach McDaniel, season. He actually might have been heading into year 3. I just thought that was interesting, these recent comments.
Well, the good thing in the NFL, you just believe what you see on the field, ultimately.
Mm-hmm.
And as a fantasy football guy, you're looking for stats and you're looking for performance. Yeah. So ultimately, all this other stuff's window dressing. You believe what produces your fantasy points in a lot of cases. You also believe what produces those precious wins to get you to the playoffs. So ultimately, results are the true elixir of the truth, right?
Yeah, and now Minnesota Vikings have come to Brian Flores' defense. I don't remember if the Vikings and the Dolphins play each other this season, but that would be quite an interesting battle if they ended up playing this upcoming year. Again, former Alabama quarterback, had a lot of success under Nick Saban, won a national championship as a true freshman, throwing it to fellow true freshman Devontae Smith back in that championship game against Georgia. Other SEC news, Carson Beck, Harold Perkins, and others have been named to the AP All-American list. Bruce brought up one earlier. I'm forgetting that the defensive end's name for Tennessee, but if you just go
Pierce, wasn't it?
Yeah, Pierce, that's it. You go up and down the list of these APs, Tommy, it's basically Ohio State, Michigan, and SEC schools. And we talked about the AP poll outside of Notre Dame. The top 9 schools are from those things, but we're moving in a direction nowadays with Oregon moving towards the Big Ten, and then also USC too. I don't know how good they're going to be this year, where it's basically just college football is just a two league sport now. And you know how we've talked about baseball being bad like that in the SEC and the ACC? That's basically what college football has become. I don't think a Big 12 team is going to compete for a national championship. I don't think an ACC school is going to compete for a national championship. No disrespect to Florida State and Clemson. And this is a 2-conference league now. That's where we're at.
Well, we put too much stock also sometimes in what happened last year, and then we get surprised at what happens this year.
You're right. That is
and
true.
In the transfer portal world that we live in now, we got to quit doing that. because we're already made fools of enough with our predictions that don't come true. In this world where half your roster is literally changing year to year, we get too caught up in how well a team did last year. Particularly with like Michigan, you don't even have the same coach anymore. I know you got most of that staff, but we get too caught up in some of this stuff. So, and that's hard because now you want me to predict on the unknown, and we just we need to lay off predictions of what's going to happen. I know we got to have lists and preseason all American teams and all these things, but a lot of these things that happen before the year are going to have a lot of holes in them come into the year.
Other SEC news, former SEC Pitcher of the Year Hagen Smith is moving up to the High A Winston-Salem within the Chicago White Sox organization. Jaden Daniels, former LSU quarterback, has been officially named quarterback 1 by the Washington Commanders. And we had on Pat Smith in the first hour. Tommy, this is a guy that's pretty well connected within the Birmingham, Hoover area. Sounds like the SEC and Hoover are going to finalize this deal that the SEC baseball tournament will be there through 2028. There's going to be like $11 million in renovations. He talked about some previous ones, but that looks like the setup for years to come for the SEC baseball tournament, which it's been in Hoover, Alabama at the Hoover Met.
Ooh, I want it to move around.
You should have said that.
Well, I did say that. What do you mean, should have said that?
I didn't think you said that to him this morning.
No, I suggested that every third or fourth year it should move to some other venue.
You should have booed his answer.
Well, it's not his answer, it's the conference's answer. But listen, if you're going to ask Hoover to invest, what did he say, $30 million, you can't be moving it around. You can't have your cake and eat it too.
And you made a good point about...
Because they play no other events essentially in that baseball stadium.
And I don't know if they're even going to move... They're not going to move the SEC football championship.
Nope.
I don't even know if they're going to move the basketball one, Tommy. I think that Nashville is going to have that thing locked for a while. I don't even know if they'll move that. So
I mean, those buildings, Bridgestone and then obviously Mercedes-Benz, they weren't built for the sole purpose of hosting the conference tournament or the conference championship game. Or, with Hoover, it wasn't built for that sole purpose, but it's been kept alive for that sole purpose. So, and Chuck has talked oftentimes about the setup in Hoover, keeping the kids safe, keeping them out of trouble. Just the way that's all set up and self-contained. That's one of the attractions there. All right, that's your SEC updates brought to you by our buddies Kevin Hickey and Brad Hull with the Hickey and Hull Law Partners. 4 locations in Arkansas. They're in Northwest Arkansas. They're in Fort Smith. They're in Little Rock and in Mena. So if you're needing legal help, you're needing representation, whether it's a family law matter, criminal matter, civil matter that you find yourself in, let Kevin and Brad put their team of experienced lawyers with over 7 decades of combined experience to work for you. Now, family law is one of their specialties, but as I mentioned a moment ago, no matter the area of the law you may need help with or the trouble you find yourself in or the situation you're dealing with, Kevin and Brad and their team can help you. 479-434-2414. For any of their 4 locations, call that one number. They'll set up your consultation. 434-2414 or go to kevinhickeylaw.com.
Coach Pittman was in Little Rock yesterday at the Little Rock Touchdown Club. Had some fun. Also talked about a position battle or two. Sounds like kicker is still going down to the wire and it has not been finalized. Coach said a week or so ago, I'd like to see this thing figured out by the start of school. Doesn't sound like it has been.
We have a battle going on at kicker. We lost Cam Little, and we have a battle going on there with Matt Shipley and Kyle Ramsey. It's going to go down to the wire there. They both really had good fall camps.
It was a luxury to have an NFL kicker kicking for you this last season. Tommy mentioned he wanted that thing figured out by the start of school. It hasn't been. I
understand and don't disagree with what Coach is saying, but if both kick against UAPB, does it matter? If UAPB's the kind of the final
barometer,
final measurement of who you want to go with long term, I'm okay with that, and not just at kicker, but several other positions.
And that's a position where I don't even know. Is more are those goalposts typical college ones too?
Of course.
Okay, so the kicker is an interesting position because you're not really affected versus who you other position groups, right? Because you're going up against UAPB. I don't know if you can tell as much that you would be against Oklahoma State, but there will be much more pressure in Stillwater and kicks, and as many close games as in Arkansas was last year. Part of the reason you were close games is because Cam Little was kicking 50-plus yard field goals last year, and it just doesn't sound like that position group has been solved. I'm hoping for a positive, but I kind of am leaning negative. The fact that neither has separated himself, that means neither's been consistent enough to win that job, which makes me a little eerie about the kicking game heading into this fall. Maybe I shouldn't be. That's just kind of how I feel about that position.
Yeah, I mean, again, dress rehearsal. I mean, I'm not downgrading UAPB, but it just is what it is. Playing a SWAC team is playing an SEC team. If Arkansas is anywhere close to what we hope them to be this year, you have that game well under control, and you let your kickers do it under the lights in front of a crowd. Well, I mean, there's something to it. I mean, can you do it when it matters? And hopefully a kick or two it's not going to matter the way it may at Oklahoma State. So yeah, I want to see what they can do when it really counts.
I did see Christian. You might have to help me. Is it Brandon Aubrey? Is that the Dallas Cowboys kicker? What did he kick, a 66-yarder the other day in preseason?
Man, he can kick just about anything.
He is. He had Dan Bailey for years, and now you got this kid they plucked him out of didn't they pluck him out of the CFL? If I remember that right.
Yeah, or I think he was a soccer player.
Okay, it was an odd match, I remember, but 66 yards.
Yeah.
I feel like that guys are just breaking kicking records every day.
Hey, it's back to school time, and if you need to get the kids into the dentist before school gets too far underway, Valley Family Dental, formerly known as Riley Farm Dental, is there for you at the entrance to Riley Farms. They provide every type of dental care and procedure for you and your family. Dr. Sparkman wants to also welcome Dr. Blaine Van Nice to their staff as he specializes in comfort care and making sure that you have a great experience at the dentist each and every time, and you're more confident when you leave there. General dentistry, braces, implants, cosmetics, and even same-day crown service. Same-day crown service available at Valley Family Dental. 479-226-3500 is their number. 226-3500, or go online to valleyfamilydentalpractice.com.
Jeff in Fort Smith chimes in, says, we better not be kicking field goals against UAPB. Well, you might get them out there.
It wouldn't be the worst thing is to try some.
And
how is she going to know?
Yeah. Seth and Rogers says Sam may be telling them it's a battle to still keep their edge. Don't want them getting comfortable. That is something that coaches have utilized over the years, with not necessarily, at least in the public, in the press, saying, hey, this guy's won the job, so the other guy is lackadaisical or doesn't still give 100%. You could be right there, Sam. I just don't think that a kid separated himself of those two. And I've been proven wrong before. Could be proven wrong again. Had a good show this morning here on a Bandwagon Tuesday. If you missed our conversation, Pat Smith of WJOX in Birmingham talked a little SEC football. Bruce Stanton, we relived some Tennessee memories, and we talked the best wide receivers in the Southeastern Conference, and then also had on Tom Murphy to give us an update on what's going on now with this Arkansas football program. All will be in the Bud Light Morning Rush podcast, posted shortly after the show. For Tommy Kraft, Christian Johnson, and Ty Richardson, What's Your Beef Wednesday coming up tomorrow. Get your beef for